Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Clay Allen Live, Clay Allen Chronicles Live. I've got Mike here, and say hello, Mike.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry.
And new to the show tonight is Boneyard.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
How you doing?
Listen to that voice, man.
I
Gosh
told
sakes.
you
What's
this guy's got a cool voice, man.
You just become a shoe salesman. I'm done.
I'm trying to turn the volume down on my phone, but I can't get it to. I know it's gonna go ding.
Oh, well, yeah, you want to mute it?
Yeah.
What's up, Chris? We see you in the chat there.
Hey.
Thanks for the yeah. You like that intro? We were worried that it was too good, and like you guys would see us and just kind of like go do something else.
That's funny.
Yeah, I said he made that video. I'm like, that's gonna be like, responses. And he's
yeah.
like, what do you mean? Oh, I mean, after seeing an intro like that, then go live to seeing us. They're like, oh.
I was sitting here, hey,
Yeah.
Some kind of
Very
epic
cinematic.
podcast.
Yeah.
And then it's like, huh?
it's
these
just
guys.
These guys. Yeah.
I made popcorn for this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, good. Hey, good evening, Lori. How you doing?
Oh yeah, I didn't even tell her hi, or I didn't. Hi,
It's
honey.
okay. I took care of it for you, Mike.
Thank you. I left her in Salisbury because we were out shopping, like I told you earlier, and I was trying to get home and just get some fluids in me before going live. So,
What you drinking? Coffee?
Coffee, Gatorade.
Okay, at least there's a Gatorade.
Water.
Some electrolytes, man.
Yes.
You need some electrolytes.
Yes.
Technically, there's nothing in the fridge. It's all right here.
Not sure I left anything for anybody else.
It's all right here.
I keep the room at a balmy 60 just to keep the drinks cool.
Keep the grease cool. Is that what you said?
The drinks.
That's awesome.
I've got my milk.
Yes, he's an avid milk drinker.
I am. I'm addicted to
I remember it was like what, 8 years ago, me and you went for a ride to do some night photography stuff, and we stopped at Cumberland Farms, and it was cool out, and I was getting a coffee, and he's over there with a coffee cup. I thought he was getting coffee like me, and when we get back in his Jeep, he's got this big large coffee cup and it's full of milk. He just went over to where the milk and cream is and just got milk.
Well, Cumbies has real cold milk out of the dispenser like that. And for 99 cents, you get a big ass cup of milk versus $3 for that sip that they sell. So
yeah.
I asked the girl at the counter, do you guys mind? They're like, nope. Okay.
I guess
it
I ask for extra cream at Dunkin' Donuts all the time, and it's never enough. So I always go in there with my own mug with like some already in there, and then pour theirs into this.
Yeah. Oh, you like pregame?
Yeah.
You go in the extra mott first. I'm just getting creamer.
Yeah.
Just here for the creamer.
The little packets of creamer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what tonight's subject is about, it's not my subject. It's actually Boneyard's, and it's I think a very solid subject, and it's we're going to entitle it Existing. So that's the sentiment, and I'm going to actually put you on the spot and ask you to explain that a little bit.
Oh, all right. So the sentiment that I experience, I deal a lot with the public. I'm a service writer at a dealership, and you get into conversations with people that you work for. You know, they can bring their machine in or their vehicle in, and you have to fix it. And then in that process, you get to learn the customer a little bit, and some of them you befriend, and you just get into these little friendly conversations. And it seems that a lot of people, wealthy, poor, in between, it doesn't really matter. They feel that even knowing that some of their goals are being reached, there's an overwhelming feeling of just all we are is existing. There's nothing happening. The goals are being reached, but I think people don't see the goal that they're achieving as a win, and they look at it as more of a step towards another goal. And then when they reach that other goal, they think that that's just another step to
Right.
another goal instead of celebrating each one of those goals. And it just feels like a lot of people are just existing. We're just going to work. We're coming home. We say we're happy, but are we really? Are we doing what we really want to do? Are we achieving what we wanted to achieve? So that's
A
just
lot of us know.
Fulfilled is the word I like to use. Are we fulfilled? Like we're living, we're going through the motions, we're tackling the day, but when you look back at the year or the last, it flies by. You're just like, what have I done? Like, what have I accomplished? What have I done with my life, really, other than just show up to work every day and get a good attendance record?
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then what does that get you?
Yeah.
At the end, where you're only as good as your last good attendance record.
Yeah.
If you have to take a day off at that point, it almost feels like you've got to work a month or if not a year with no lates or not being sick just to make up for that one time that you actually were. And you almost feel guilty taking vacation time because you feel that when you come back, do I even have a job to come back to? Are they going to be used to me being gone for a week? And I think that's in a lot of people's minds when they go to vacation. And then when they're on vacation, they think that a little bit. So it takes away from that vacation because now they're thinking about that. I don't know.
Right. No,
Yeah,
I
no.
get
That's
it.
just kind of,
I get it. I
feel
feel it.
Yeah.
Like
And a
that's
lot of people are like that.
me and you have
talk
talks
to-
about it a lot.
Yeah.
where
Well, I
it's
talk
just-
to like about 15, 20 people every day. And I would say at least one conversation always leads to what they're doing, what they want to do. This isn't what I want to do. This isn't what I wanted to have been. I had bigger ambitions, that kind of thing.
And that's kind of an unsettling feeling that's where I've been. That's like what I'm going through right now. Everybody knows I'm took a big leap and I'm going to try to hone in on what we want to do. Like there's things that me and Boneyard have been talking about that I just can't put in the time because I've got to hold a full-time job. So I'm taking a risk, but I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting older and I don't have a whole lot left, So the last part before I slide into the grave, I'd kind of like it to be something I'm interested in, not just doing something for somebody else.
Yeah.
So
that what you said, Boneyard really hit because, like the job I had before I got sick with this illness, I'd spent like 10 years there and poured everything I had into it, and just establishing, just going the extra mile, working 21 straight days. You build up this like credit to where you can just do what you want at the workplace, and you can, you get to make the decisions. Everybody leaves you alone because you're doing such a great job. They're like, just don't mess with him. He's in his jam. And now that I can't do that job anymore, it's like looking back, okay, that's all gone now. So who am I now? I'm not maintenance supervisor for this, and I'm not the supervisor for that. I'm just I'm
what
just
are
me
you?
now. So what am I? What am I doing now? And you're starting all over. And it's like you ask yourself, did I just waste 10 years because I wasn't pursuing my dream because of that job? Now that job is gone. I don't have the job nor the dream.
They're both gone.
Yeah. It strips all the ambition from you.
Yeah.
And then you think about it and I'm like, okay, I slave away at a job and I try my hardest and I do my best. Not only is it expected, but it's expected of myself. That's how I work. That's what my brain does. So when I try to do something and it's 110% and I'm giving it to this person, and at the end of a 40-hour week or a 50-hour week, there may have just been some frustrating time. You may have just said something you just blurted out of anger or whatever, or you acted a certain way that was a little different, and instantly the vibe changes. And it's forget who you were for the last year, 5 years, 10 years, however long you gave to these people. And then at the end of the day, you're worth nothing to them. And if you were to die or something bad would have happened to you, they'd be like, oh, okay, and next we'll just get another application and pay that guy a little bit less.
Right on.
Chances are they'll
right
have
on.
some remorse. You're like, oh, that sucks. That guy, he was a cool guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, who's next?
Who's
right.
next?
But when an employee is working for an employer and one of the employer's families pass away, it's a big deal, and the whole shop or whatever business that you're in has to feel the whole hit to it because that family is so important to the business. And then you're the employee who's actually making them wealthy. You're giving your life to them.
Yeah.
You're giving your more awake hours instead of being with your family and providing for them and fulfilling your dreams and going home and making stuff for you. You're dedicating the best part of your life and the best part of your day during the best part of your life for somebody else, for
Yeah.
them to deem what that is worth. And then they have to give you something in the form of a paycheck. And I just, I guess I'll always have that feeling towards that, because I've almost achieved the point where I could have people working for me, that I had that little goal, and I lost it, but we'll chase it again. But regardless, I hate giving my good time, my good part of my life to somebody else who in return doesn't appreciate it like
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah, you think you have relationships with people, but you realize looking back, once something happens to you, and you can no longer fulfill what they've been receiving. Like they're
Mhm.
not producing anything in that relationship; they're consuming it. And once you stop producing, there's no relationship, and you're like, man, I thought we were friends. I thought we were close, we were tight. But it's
Yeah,
like then you realize, no. They just liked what you did for them. They didn't
right.
really like you so much. They tolerated you,
Mhm.
not that they didn't, not that they disliked you, but you were a relationship of convenience, not
Right.
not an individual. Hey, let's go out and grab a cup of coffee, or hang out tonight. That was never on their plate. They just,
Right.
what are you gonna show up to work tomorrow and do what I need you to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I don't want to, and I don't feel like the employer or the man, the whoever you're working for, they don't. Me and Boneyard have had this discussion. They're not necessarily bad people, because if either one of us
Yeah,
starts up our own business and
they're doing their job.
we get to the
Yeah.
point where we've got people working for us, we're going to be those people.
Yeah.
We're going to be right there, that where
Yes
our
and
bread
no.
and our, yeah. No, I trust, I get that.
You get it. I get it.
Yep.
I know you do.
Because we're not, we're a different breed.
Well, I think that's why I'm still not successful, because I get to a certain point where I worry about others' needs
More than
before my
yours.
own,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
put my business or my money in places that it shouldn't, because I'm worried about the welfare of somebody else. When I had an employee working for me with my fence business, they got paid better than I did on most jobs, because it
Yeah.
would be something would happen, or the whatever. It was just when the money was done, my employee usually took home more of that job than I did, just because I had to make sure my employees were taken care of.
Make sure they were happy,
As
because
long as
if
I
they're
could survive
happy,
on what I was taking home,
they'll do a
and
good
he
job for you.
right,
Yeah.
right, and he was every time, every time I needed something. Then when I had to leave for a week for a family matter, he just took the reins and took over. I didn't
And
have to
figured it
worry
out.
about everything,
Yep.
So yeah, yeah. It's just like I said. It feels like you're existing. It just feels like you wake up
Mhm.
every day, you do the same rat race, and a lot of people are that way. And it's not every day, but just a lot of the days are like that. Because there's some days that are great.
Yeah. Well, there's
I'm
some
not.
days that, even though you're not doing that goal or that passionate thing, there's victories in some of those
Mhm.
days, and you go home with that victory and be like, "Oh, that was a good day. I
Yeah.
got this and this, and everybody thought it was really cool that I figured this out or whatever." But it's still not for you.
Yeah,
It's you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
for
like
somebody
this.
else.
I like to say you got to, when it comes to stuff like this, because we're all, and I think we're all cut from the same cloth, where we will table and shelf our own personal desires, our own personal wants, our own goals, to make sure that the people around us are taken care of, and that
Mhm.
their needs are met first. So it's like, if I'm cooking dinner in the kitchen and somebody needs something, I will go take care of everything. I will cut the neighbor. And when I'm done, my kitchen's on fire, my food is burnt,
You don't get to
everything's
eat.
toast.
Yeah.
My life is chaos, because I just have this thing in me where it's whatever I'm doing, I will just walk away from it to help you. And then when you come back, your stuff is ruined because
Right.
you neglected it. So it's like what we're talking, it's like I've had to learn this past year a phrase that I've been saying to myself a lot is know your no's. I may be saying yes to you, but by saying yes to you, I'm saying no to something else. What am I saying no to now?
Right.
So, okay, I think I'm not saying no to anybody because I'm saying yes to this and yes to this, yes to this, but I'm actually saying no to my dream, to my family, to my personal time. So it's like now I just set boundaries. All right, I know who I am now and I know what I will do. So I'm only going to This is, like you were saying, Boneyard, this is your dream. This is your company. This is your place. When you walk into that kind of environment, I will give you this much. But because if I give you, once I exceed that 100%, now I'm stealing from something else. And it's not worth it to me. You're going to be okay if I give you 100%. But I'm going into this, and you need to know that I have a life. I have a family. I'm not going to work 21 straight days anymore. I'm going to work my 40 hours, or I'm going to work 50 hours, but whatever your boundaries are, these are my boundaries, and I won't cross them. This is my day off now. You don't get to, you don't call me on my day off. You can call me all you want. You can text me all you want. I won't answer you.
Mhm.
And I've really had to nail that down this past year, because I've been terrible at it. My family always gets the short end of the stick. My friends get the short end of the stick. My dreams and goals always get the short end of the stick, and everybody else's needs are met. And now with my illness, it's like I can't do all of this stuff for anybody. So my identity was lost. Like, I can no longer be what everybody is used to me being. So who am I? So I
Well,
had
right.
that reflection of like, okay, I can no longer be Superman in the red cape to everybody. Cape is gone. Kryptonite, like, it's in the blood. Like, I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
lift anything. I can't do anything.
Well, that was
So
pretty deep. That was cool.
yeah, it's like
Know your nose.
know your nose. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I have to start saying no to people, because by saying no to them, I'm saying yes to my family now.
To something else.
Where I was
That's
saying yes
that's
to them
possibly
and
more
no to my
important.
family and no to me. And
Mhm.
yeah.
That's
Definitely.
kind of what I did going into the interview for the job that I have now. I got used. There was a job that I backstory. I'm living in New Hampshire. I have a house in Connecticut. My wife lives there, and I live here. And we try to go back and forth as much as possible to see each other. I think I saw my wife a total of 40 days last year, 50 days. It's tough, but we've got a bigger picture. We're trying to do something up here where we can establish ourselves. And I was working for a rental company as a guide. It was like a dream job come true. And eventually it just came to an end. And I took another job up here because I've always done service writing and parts for automotive. And I took a job at a body shop up here as a service writer. And he had a 4-day work week. And I was like, huh. And it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Having Friday, Saturday, Sunday off gave me the time to wake up Friday morning, and I could go down my vehicle or my bike, and I could shoot down to Connecticut and hang out with my wife for the weekend and come back Sunday night. So that job I was there for almost 2 years, a year and a half. And the mechanic side really fell out. It got really slow there. So before anything hit the fan, I'd found another position where I'm at now. And when they interviewed me, they were asking me, what I wanted to work. And I said, look, I've started a tow company up here, hauling ATVs and side by sides out of the woods. I'm trying to dedicate my time to me now. So my availability is, and I gave them these 4 days, Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah.
And Mom's is the company I work for, and they're not open on Sunday or Monday. So their work week is Tuesday to Saturday. And when I filled out the application, I actually put on the application no Saturdays with an exclamation point underlined, and then I signed it. So when he calls me up for the interview, he's like, well, our work week is Tuesday to Saturday. And I said, so why did you call me?
Right.
He says, what do you mean? And I said, well, I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I said, but I know what my worth is. I know what I want out of this. And I said, and I put it down pretty much in black and white. I said, do you have my application in front of you? And it was a phone interview. And he says, yeah. And I said, what's it say right underneath the availability? And he looks at it, he goes, oh, it says no Saturdays. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, it's even got an exclamation point. I said, right. And I said, so if the job is in making I have to work on a Saturday, and on the application for the job, I put I am not available for Saturdays, and you call me, I'm thinking you understood that I wouldn't be working those Saturdays.
Yeah.
But to call me and say that if I want the job, I have to work Saturdays, I don't want the job because I already put that I'm
Right.
not working Saturdays.
Yeah.
And making a long story short, they gave me the 4-day work week, and they absolutely love what I do there in those 4 days. And it actually works to everybody's benefit. But
Yeah.
now not having a Saturday and I have Monday off, I can leave Friday night after work, and I can actually be home Saturday all day, Sunday all day, and then leave on Monday. So it gives me more time with my family. So again, knowing your nose, I was not working another Saturday.
Out. Yeah, you called it out. And you can't fault them because they're going to take what they can get. We'll try to take what we can get, but
and there's other employees that get mad. They're like, "Oh, well, he's got 4 days. I want 4 days." It's like, whoa. I negotiated my job at the time of my interview. Yep. You had the same possibilities in front of you, opportunity. You know, you could have easily jumped on it. And so the haters will always hate.
Yeah. But it's cool that they started off trying to right away talk you into it, and then when you laid it out like that, they still hired you.
Well, it's, you know what, I was at a position where I had another job, so I didn't have anything to lose. I really wanted to work for this company because it's in the atmosphere of where I want to be with the ATVs and side-by-sides.
Right.
With that being said, I also know that at my age, I know what I want for my hourly rate. I don't want somebody to say, well, we'll hire you at a lesser rate, and if you prove to me that you're good, we'll give you more money. No, I'm coming to the table with over 25 years worth of experience, and you're going to pay me this. If you want to pay me a kid's wage, that's fine. I'll call out every other day. I'll come in late. I'll leave early. You know, I'll look up wrong parts. I won't get stuff. You know, I won't make an order if that's what you want. But I said, what you're looking for is what I'm going to give you. But unfortunately, it will cost you more than what it's going to be a kid off the street. And I said it to, and I was like, my heart was pounding. I was kind of like almost sweating because I'm like, am I blowing a really good job here? You know, I don't want to lose this opportunity either. And I said, but I've had other interviews. I've had other jobs. If this didn't work out, I would just go get another job. It wouldn't be the last thing in my world.
What's the phrase? You were looking for this one, or you found this one, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was looking for a job when I found this one. That's
right. Yeah, exactly. And I'll be looking for one when I leave it, you know, and it's.
Tell them, incorporate the little story that you told me about firing your employer.
Oh yeah, well,
I gotta hear
the
this.
problem is if they don't see, the way I look at it is my house is my business, and that's the company I run, and I'm the CEO of that business. And when my employee, being my employer, which is my income, I just have to fire them if it doesn't work out. So I'll walk in and say, look, I've given it multiple chances and it just doesn't seem like it's going to work. It's just not a good meld. So I'm just letting you go. And my boss is like, are you firing me? And I'm like, yeah. It's not working out, you know? And I know that if I were to try and make it work out, things just wouldn't be right. And it would just be so I think it's just best if we just separate our ways right now. And I'm just going to let you go. So there's no need to give any 2 weeks because I'm sure we'll figure things out. And he's like, so you're not even giving me 2 weeks? I'm like, no, I don't think it would be appropriate, you know, in case if I were to tell you and then you accidentally hurt yourself or something, it just wouldn't work out. And it's just kind of like, look at me like, this is great. I've had a couple of them like, this is the best way anybody's ever quit before in my life. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
I fired the last 4. I'll fire this one if he keeps it up.
I love it too. And it's awesome when you do that. Like, yes, you're the employer and I'm the employee, but this is a two-way street. Like, I work for you, but you also have to provide a place where I want to work here. So if you can't,
you got to make me want to stay.
End, I'm going to fire you as my employer.
Sure. My product for you that I make is the product that you sell to make your business and your lifestyle. Yeah. But then your paycheck is my product. That's what I make in my factory is a paycheck. And if that paycheck doesn't meet the right expectations, then I'm going to have to make a better product somewhere else. That's all.
Yeah. Holding them accountable to
such an awesome way to go, approach for it. I love it.
They don't hold back. I'm not going to hold back. I've
had
a boss where I've walked in and I said, what's a gallon of milk cost? And he looks at me, what's a loaf of bread cost? And he's just like, I said, you don't know. And I said, because you mock me because I have a little bit of money because you don't pay me much. But I said, when you go home, your food's made for you. When was the last time you went to a supermarket? When was the last time that you had to make your own supper? I said, you go home and it's all laid out for you. I said, your problems when you leave here is what clothes you're going to wear tomorrow. My problems are when I go home, what are we going to have for dinner? What can I afford for dinner? Did somebody get it? Is it going to be at home? Do I even have the electric bill that paid the electric to have this on? Because I make minimal amount of money from you and you go home and your biggest complaint is nothing. There is nothing to complain about. And I worked for a Ford dealership and the owner was very, very out of touch with reality. He was willing to hire people at $10 an hour in 2020. I mean, that's just my boss when I was working in the parts department. In Putnam.
I know. I already knew where you were talking about. That's why I said in New England.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yes, in New England. And Yeah, when I was working there, my boss was making $13 an hour. I was making 15. And I looked at my boss and I'm like, you have 20 years experience here. He's like, yeah. He goes, I make a pretty good bonus. And I'm like, but what happens when you don't make a bonus? He goes, and it sucks. And I'm like, you've been here for 20 years and you're making $11 an hour. I just, that was a stepping stone for me. I got there. I needed it for a paycheck for a while and off I went. And the place was going as fast as I got it.
Yeah.
I've been a job whore. I've had quite a few. I don't think I'm really just happy working for somebody. That's what the point is. I've had my own companies. I'm not a good businessman. That's my problem. I'm a very, very poor businessman. I mishandle money. I'm not good with it. I don't hang on to it for those rainy days. I buy stuff too much, too fast. I know how to work. I'm a good worker. I can do a skilled job really well. I just can't handle the money part of it. That's my problem. Not successful as a businessman.
You got to be treated right,
Yeah.
or you'll leave.
Yeah. Well, it's just you got to have those instincts. You got to know
Yeah.
what you're doing with your money. You have to understand taxes. You have to understand people and banking and all that. I don't. I know.
Yeah.
Stick the shovel in the ground, make a hole. You know, that kind of stuff. I know how to dig.
Yeah.
I know how to work.
There's people that can create a mission, and then there's people who carry out the mission. Like you can design the mission,
Right.
I'll carry it out.
I'm enlisted.
Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't an officer. I was enlisted.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
You give me the mission, man. You tell me what I got to do, and we'll get it through. Just give me a list. Give me my list.
Yep.
That's how I was.
That's the doers.
Yeah. Give me a list. I'll bang it out. Just tell me what the list is.
Where did I go wrong?
Yeah.
It's like we all had that opportunity.
Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten looking at little Timmy, going, Timmy, someday you're going to be my boss. You're going to be better than me when it comes to money. But I can outwork you. I can always outwork you. Timmy, you suck.
Timmy, I need you to pay attention
Timmy,
to
you're
this math
fired.
stuff right now because I'm going to need a job here, man. You're going to need someone like me to carry it out, and I need you to make sure that the taxes are paid, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same shoes. Me and Boneyard, we wear the similar shoes. We're just because that's the life that we got spilt into right off the bat, is the worker.
Yeah, that was me.
Do you think it's by design? Like you see a lot of families, and you'll see a dad is a worker, the kid is a worker, their kids are workers. You know, very, very few. Sometimes you see like where somebody's a worker, and all of a sudden you get that like little weird egg that made it to college and became really, really successful. But you always wonder, do they keep a class, or not they, but do classes stay low because it's almost my kids? They're not college bound. They were never going to be. They're workers. My son's a mechanic. My daughter, she's a phenomenal photographer, but she's a worker. Although she does have a lot more of her mother's traits. So
yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I think about my dad. He worked 2 jobs all the time. He was a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. You get the dreamers every now and then, but for the most part, it's just it's learned behavior.
I seen dad survived. Dad had a house. Dad had food on the table. Yep. I had clothes on my back. Yeah. Now I'm a dad. I got a roof, but I'm still working. But there's food on the table. Kids got clothes. I just want that generation gap where it ends. I was close, Clay, last week.
Yes.
I was this close.
But really... that's another thing that, and I don't want to air too much, but I feel like that happens with you a lot.
Oh, it sucks. It sucks so bad. An emotional roller coaster. I'm looking at a large chunk of property, and I want to open up. My goal is to open up a campground someday, and not a campground where people just sleep on the ground or anything. Seasonal campers, something that people pay me once a year, every year to come back, get like 20, 30 of them on a campground somewhere, and then go ride the bike for the rest of the summer. That's kind of residual income. Pay somebody to take care of the property, and off you go. My wife wants to have a homestead, start growing more food than we buy.
Yeah.
Start canning food, start living a lot healthier. And it's amazing how money makes people either healthy and not even to live a good life, just a healthy life where you can afford those foods, you can afford all those little things, and the better medical. We have a boss where his wife had a massive stroke, and I mean she's doing great and all that, but my mother-in-law had the same stroke and she's dead now. And same thing, but completely different class of money. One's dead, one's actually almost fully recovered, and it was exactly the same thing. So just it sucks when you see that.
Yeah, that's always been a thing. Like we've always known that like some things can go away if you have
Yeah.
money.
I just want to be more self-sustainable. I just,
Um,
get away from that. That's
I
all.
want to
I
take a
want to
quick
be that
second.
guy. Yeah.
Real, I'm going to interrupt you. I just want to say hi to a couple people in the chat. We haven't said nothing to nobody. Hi, Miss
Sorry.
K. Hi, Mrs. K. I wanted to
Oh yeah,
say
this is a
thank you
live stream, ain't it?
for
Yeah,
joining
that's
us.
right.
How you doing, Steve-O?
Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve-O. I did say hi to Chris, and now Chad is in there. What's up, Chad? How you doing? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
No,
want to make
you're
sure
good.
Yeah, no,
check
that's fine. And I'll tell
every
you,
now and then address
who's
people.
in that group of people, only because I know him personally, is Steve. Once you get him in a good conversation, he could definitely throw into this as well. He's lived some really shit times in his life, and I've seen he's like a very he's one of those people that you look to and go, man, he has survived through some serious crap, and he still turned out to be one heck of a person.
Right? How'd you do it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he could write a book on how to do it, he'd be a millionaire. That'd be sure. But Steve-O, just a shout out to you, bud.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you have to fight for every meal every week.
Oh, but sometimes don't you just get sick of it though?
Yeah.
Oh,
When you
of
get sick
course.
of fighting for it, I mean, every now and then,
Yeah.
don't you just want that little break where
Yeah.
you wake up and I want to go to bed tonight and not be worried about tomorrow?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen every night, but a lot of nights.
My
I would
wife and
just
I
like to be.
had that moment where a couple of years ago we just sat down and it's like, all right, we just got to start making a decision at where we are in our life. Are we going to continue to work jobs to keep getting the stuff to keep up with the Joneses, or do we just go get a job that allows us to have the life that we have?
The one that you want.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what you
Make the lifestyle, go get the job and make the lifestyle fit the job instead of getting the job to fit the lifestyle. And it's
because
like
then it's always
the
going to
mindset
be
changes.
yeah, the lifestyle is always going to be the
Yeah.
job.
So instead of having, like, we moved out of a brand new townhome, it was only a couple of years old, and we moved into this house. It's 100-year-old house, but you know what? The rent was like half of what we used to pay. Like we just went to a smaller, more simple lifestyle, getting rid of the big car payments. And now I drive, I've always been this guy. I've always driven the car that's paid for with 200,000 miles on it and fix it myself. Then the $500 car payment.
Yeah.
Now my wife is in that
Current.
same thing now. It's like, okay, so now that we've reduced all these bills, we're enjoying life a little more because we're not stressing about how do we pay the bills this month. So we had to change our lifestyle. So yeah, so my son was like, my son's 21 and he's trying to plan his life now because he's, getting ready to hopefully propose to this girl he's been with for 5 years already. And she's like a daughter to me already. I'm like, dude, you better get on that train, man. Don't lose this one. I like her. I like her more than you. The only reason you're still here is because she might be part of the family someday.
So you're trying to keep him around for that.
Yeah. The only reason I'm keeping you in here is because she might come with the package and she's an awesome lady over there. All right. But it's just like, I just told him, I said, because he's trying to figure out what to do, what kind of career to have. I said, just what life do you want to live, and go find a job, or go find a job you truly love, and then find the life that allows you to live with that job. All right. Okay. If that's if you really want to be a local municipal cop at $30,000 a year, then don't try to buy a $500,000 home.
Right.
No.
So just, what do you want? You want the nice home or you want the nice job? Because let me tell you something, your home, if you want that fancy home, you're going to spend more time working at a job you hate
To pay for it.
to spend 2 hours in that house and 24 hours or 22 hours at a job site that you hate, or go get a job you love and you don't mind, man. It's just like, it's whatever. So yeah, it's just a mindset, and it ticks you off that you got to cut some stuff loose that you truly enjoy.
That you got to choose. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I pull up and, I see these people with these, huge trucks that I've always wanted my entire life. And it's just like, I could have that truck, but I know what I'd have to give up to drive that truck.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to give that up.
I don't want that life. I want the truck, but not the life that comes with it.
Right.
Yeah. I can't.
So it goes to the existing thing. I don't want to exist to drive a truck that nobody cares about, but I get it because it looks cool, and I think I'll have some kind of credibility and value in my community and how I'm seen as a valuable person. Now it's just like I wear a $30 watch, and I have a 1997 Dodge Dakota with 230,000 miles on it. And I look at the people that have the $1,000 truck payment, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I like the
I'm
argument
sorry
where they
for
go,
you.
"Don't you hate fixing it all the time?" I'm like, "I don't spend
No.
$1,000 a month fixing it. I can tell you
Yeah.
that."
I spent less on my truck this year than you did.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And mine's still running. You know, I
Yeah.
just, you know, twice I had to put a couple $100 into it. You paid more than that this month alone to not have problems.
The best running vehicle we have in the family right now is, between my wife and I, is our Cherokee, and I paid $900 for it like 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Thing still runs good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's
I don't need all
what's
the frills. I don't need the
what's the deal on the
Yeah,
other vehicles?
Exactly.
I just got my locker delivered. Oh, I gotta go on my front step. It's here. I ordered a new locker for my Jeep. It got delivered
Did I
today.
tell you the story about the boneyard, Mike?
Mm-mm.
What it all means, and like, so him and his wife both have matching Jeeps, and they're like boneyard Jeeps, like something that you would find in a not a, I don't want to say a junkyard, but like definitely the backyard mechanic style stuff. And they're lifted. They've got big tires. I don't know what her motor is, but he's got not a Jeep. Well, it's a Jeep motor,
Mhm.
but not a Wrangler
The
motor.
Wagoneers with the wood grain, the old ones,
The
that
big
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
the 360 in there. I
That's
put
what
that
he's
in a
got in his
YJ.
Jeep.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, it goes pretty good.
And
Yeah.
they're flat black with slight accents of like fluorescent green, and it says Boneyard. And then his wife's is almost identical, different model. She's got round headlights, correct?
Mhm.
And her says Mrs. Boneyard. And then is the red one still around?
Yeah, it's in the garage.
There's a little red one that's not lifted, that's small, that says Lil Lil Boneyard, and that's his daughter's.
Yeah. We built the Jeeps a while back, and in Rhode Island, the nickname for the junkyard was the Boneyard. And I bought a lot of parts from the local junkyard. And one of my buddies said, if you put too many parts from that salvage yard into this thing, it's going to be a Boneyard Jeep. So I thought it was funny. So we put a decal on the hood, and it says Boneyard Jeep. And
Yeah.
going wheeling with all the families, the children would come up to my wife and I and Mr. Boneyard, Mr. Boneyard. So it kind of just stuck.
I love
And it
it.
was 25 years ago, something like that. But my daughter, for the longest time, everybody thought her name was LB. They didn't realize it was like, maybe Laura Beth or something. They didn't realize it was Lil Boneyard.
Yeah.
And then she was talking with a guy who's trying to start a TV channel in Connecticut, a new channel. And he was talking with my daughter, and she said, LB, Lil Boneyard. He goes, wait a minute, you're a Boneyard? He goes, your dad's Boneyard? Like, he knew me. And I have no idea who this person is,
Yeah.
But a lot of people knew the Jeeps. They were kind of popular. We've had them for a long time. And in that neck of the woods, in Thompson, Rhode Island, the Massachusetts border right there in the tri-state.
It's cool.
They're well known,
Yeah.
in the Jeep community. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that if you mention those, they're like, oh, I've seen those driving. I've seen them. Yeah,
Yeah. I'll talk to some people, and I'm like, oh, those Boneyards, they suck. Really? Oh, they're nice people. I haven't really met them, but I've always heard nice things. And I'm like, oh, cool, But I would start the conversation. I've heard those Boneyards suck. Just to see what people say. Yeah, they're assholes, man. Yeah, that's right. They are.
And then you're like, so anyway.
Well, we were leaving one day. My daughter and I were leaving in the little red Jeep, the little Boneyard, and we were coming down my driveway. My driveway is about 100 feet long, and it comes down a hill. And I get out to the road, and a Jeep goes by. The 3 Jeeps is another story, but a Jeep goes by, and it goes by real slow. And the 2 kids that were in it, you could see looking up my driveway as they drove by. And as we were coming down, my daughter says, that was weird. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So we get to the end of the street, and the Jeep is parked on the side of the road. So as I pull up alongside the Jeep, and I roll the window down, and I'll unzip the window, and I lean over, and I said, you guys all right? And the kid leans over, and he looks at the other one, and he says, are you the one they call Boneyard? And I look at one, I go, yes, I am the one they call Boneyard. My daughter's not looking at them. She's looking right at me like, what's going on? It was just really funny. Yes, I am the one they call Boneyard. Yeah. Like, who the hell is that guy? Who cares?
It's just neat. It's a thing here locally, it's just kind of cool.
Yeah. I had a Jeep garage in Rhode Island for a while, and I built quite a few Jeeps for people, about 30 or 35 Jeeps from the frame up. And a lot of people get to know you and your work really quick.
My future daughter-in-law drives a Jeep.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, she's a keeper.
Yeah. Yep.
She's keeper. She's a
Yeah.
jeeper, so she's a keeper.
Just empty every pocket. That's what it
Yeah.
stands for.
Chris says he drives a 1990 Dodge 1-ton dually diesel with 400,000 miles on it.
Billy broken in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, see, that's just it with a diesel. If one person's driving it and they're taking care of it, you can do that.
Yeah, 1,000,000-mile motor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily. Says it's paid for itself many times over versus the big fancy $100,000
Yeah.
1-ton dualies. They're
Yeah,
all just
everybody's like,
pretty.
"You're gonna get rid of the truck?" I'm like, "No, kidding me? I
Why?
love it. It makes more
Yeah.
noises than my body does. It makes me feel better."
It's older. It's
Yeah.
older in like measurably than you. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Not in years, but
Yeah.
People are afraid to ride with me in my truck. They're like, "Dude, that's a death trap." I'm like, "No, it's not."
Why'd the dash move? Because I stepped on the brake pedal. Don't worry about it.
We were loading stuff in the back of my truck, and someone's like, "Oh man, I think I might have scratched something." I said, "Dude, this truck has a custom paint job. There isn't a single truck in the world that has paint like this."
yeah.
There's so many scratches and dents in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Chad didn't like it. Wasn't the life for him. See,
No.
and it's not for everybody.
No.
It's definitely your life.
We had a Jeep Grand Cherokee
In my
couple
life for a
years ago.
long time.
Yeah. You had a what? A Grand Cherokee?
Yeah, we had a Jeep Grand Cherokee for a while.
That's what we have now. A 96.
Yeah.
I had a 99 Cherokee Sport. I loved that thing. That was the
Mhm.
4.0
Was that the red one?
gold.
Oh yeah.
My ex had a red one for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
But I had
Split.
prior to 2014, I had a gold Jeep Cherokee Sport, and I loved that thing. That motor was,
Yeah, the 4-liter high output.
I'm the one that toasted it.
Mhm.
I was replacing the radiator in Florida, and when I went to put it back in, I accidentally busted off that little where the overflow is. There's a little plastic piece.
The piton.
Yeah, and it broke. And I was like, okay, it's just the overflow, not a big deal. I'll just I took
Not
out
a big deal. Don't
I
worry
took
about
out a
it.
milk jug
They put
and
it
I
there
like
just-
melted some plastic together, to get it to seal it back up.
Sure.
And I was like, I'll go down to the auto parts store and I'll buy a new thing for that, a new fitting. And by the time I got to the auto parts store, I had overheated it and I smoked the block or the head gasket or something. I did something because it never ran again.
You did something.
Yeah. I totally did something.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah. What'd
And
you do?
I hated it too because that thing there was nothing can kill it except for Clay Allen.
Clay. Yeah, right.
You know,
Like I've seen videos where people beat the snots out of those things. The radio's been out for 3 weeks and they're hitting trees with it.
yeah.
You have it for a week and you break the titone off the freaking radiator.
So, like,
You blow the head
actually,
gasket.
I had it longer than I had it for a
Really?
long time. I had it for I don't know, probably 8 years. But
Chris
You
is
know.
right on. I'm with Chris on this last comment.
well, let's put that up on the screen there.
I've never washed my truck.
Go ahead and read it.
My truck only gets washed when it rains and it rides like an old horse-drawn buckboard on a what is that? Rutted roads.
On our rutted
Yeah,
roads.
until I put a couple 1,000 pounds in the bed, and then it's
Great.
My
Yeah.
truck, I bought it. I wrecked my Dodge Ram, which had 180,000 miles on it. Got a Dodge Dakota 4 or 5 years ago. I've never washed it. Never washed it.
No.
I'm terrible.
See,
but
I can't do that, man. I
the
gotta have
inside's
it's gotta
clean.
look pretty. I gotta wash it.
Yeah,
I wash my
it's clean
stuff.
on the inside.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll
don't
wash
care
my
what
stuff
they
and go down
say.
the road and there's a puddle.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
woo.
That's my thing, man. I get so frustrated. You spend $15 to take it through a car wash, and then all of a sudden you hit a pothole and there's mud on the side, or you're going down the road the other day and they're like retarring the road, and you get all. I was like, I'm over it. Not washing it again. Forget it.
Miss
I'll
K's
just take
got
care of the inside.
the 5.7 in a Jeep. I've never had one of those.
Oh,
It's got a Hemi.
Yeah, it's got a Hemi.
It's got a Hemi. What's that thing got in it? Two
Oh, I
sheets,
had a
plywood, some dog
5.7
food. Oh, you
Hemi.
mean the motor? It's a Hemi.
I had a 5.7. It was in a Durango, not in a
Mm.
Jeep.
Same motor.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I've never had a Jeep that had a V8, especially not no boneyard V8.
Yeah, no, that thing goes pretty good.
Yeah,
Just a little under 325 horse.
yeah.
okay.
It's a beast.
Yeah,
And
I've
he's got like no exhaust, so it's like
It is an exhaust. It just happens to not have a muffler,
yeah.
but there is an exhaust. It goes all the way up to the back.
Oh, does it go to the back?
Oh, that yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
See, I've got the Dakota with the big V8 in there, and when I got it, there was a huge hole in the muffler, just gone. So everybody's like, "Dude, that is some awesome exhaust. What is that? Custom?" Yeah, it's custom.
Yeah.
Nobody got one like this one.
It's a Roted.
A Roted.
If you can find the parts to make it,
Yeah, it's a Roted muffler, man. They're expensive. Take a while to get too.
You know, did you just catch that? Roted.
you can't
Roted.
find the parts to do this.
No, you can't even
they're
buy
gone.
those.
Yeah, you
strictly
can't.
custom
You
right
can't
there.
find them because they fell off 12 miles ago.
Yeah. You can find them. They're on the side of 146A,
Yeah.
right next to the pothole.
Oh,
Boom. They rolled down to the median.
I used to get comments all the time in drive-throughs, man. Kids coming out and giving you a burger. Man, that is a great sounding truck. I'm like, you have no idea.
No clue.
You
Yeah.
spend a penny on this thing.
As everybody's getting asphyxiated.
Yeah.
That's a wicked nice
Eyes are bloodshot and tears running down your face.
I finally got my exhaust fixed, and my son's like, "Dad, what'd you do, man?"
It doesn't sound good anymore.
Fixed it.
I'm not sleepy.
Wake
That
the
sound,
neighborhood
it was
up.
cool. It was broke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
warming the truck up in the winter, man. The whole town rumbled. The houses were vibrating. So I felt bad for the neighbors. I had to fix it.
My Grand Cherokee had the muffler. The hole was on the top. So when you looked underneath, it was like, oh, the muffler looks solid, So when I bought it, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, it's like a thrush muffler, It's there's a hole on the top. And there's rot on the body because it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
And the back seat, it's a split back seat, but it's still both fold forward. So it's like a fold and tumble. And my jacket fell in between the two seats. And I pulled it out and the plastic zipper was melted. And I was like, what the heck? And I actually lifted up the rug. There was a hole above the hole in the muffler. So that hot air was just coming right out.
Oh,
It
wow.
melted my seat, my coat. I'm like, how did I melt the zipper on the back seat? It's like, there's nothing else burnt. There's not. I was bewildered.
You were bewildered.
I was perplexed.
I remember that.
Yeah. An exister. Didn't know how to use vocabulary.
How to use vocabulary.
We had a friend of ours. Well, no, we had a common employee, a coworker.
Coworker.
Yeah, and she didn't know how to use certain words. And there was a truck that was trying to leave the property, and it pulled out of the driveway and then turned, and it got hung up on the landing gear on the hump in the driveway. And she looked outside and she goes, "That truck is so perplexed outside." I'm like, "It's confused?" And she goes, "What?" I go, "Perplexed. It means confused." And she goes, "I don't think you know what that word means." I go, "No, I don't think you know what that word means." It's like,
Yeah.
the truck's out there perplexed. I was like, "No, it's not." I'm pretty sure.
Those are the fun people in
Perplexed.
life. You just sit back and listen to them talk.
He's got some bad juju with her. I still know her. I don't hang out with her, but I say hi or whatever on Facebook. But he's not wrong. She had some funny words.
I used to work with a guy like that. He's like, "Yeah, man, we could do this and this, man. We could kill 2 stones with 1 bird."
Yeah. The problem is catching that bird, and then you got to chuck it pretty hard. But you got to nip the wings so they can't fly.
My
I've tried
daughter
doing
chimes
empty
in.
stones.
She
That's
says,
hard.
"It's me, the CJ."
What's up, CJ?
The CJ.
Hi, Dad. Oh, hey, that is LB in the house.
Huh? No, this is mine.
Oh, that's yours. Oh,
Yeah.
because my daughter has a CJ.
Oh, no.
You're hardcore into YouTube when your family communicates to you through the chat
Through
of your live streams.
through the chat.
Yeah, from the other room.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so close.
Yeah. See, look, now she's chiming in all kinds. She's never done this. She's never watched. She's like, "It's me, the CJ."
The CJ.
That's what she named herself on that channel, I guess.
The CJ.
It's me, the
Speaking of
CJ.
name changes,
Oh, it's me, the CJ is her
Yeah,
name.
it's me, the CJ.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Chad changed his name again.
To what?
Chad on the road. Wasn't it
I
Chat
thought-
on the Go? And then before that, Chad's
Oh, it
Adventure?
was a
Yeah.
Chat on the Go. Well, Chat on the Road
Yeah.
works too.
Yeah.
He's
I
growing.
just caught that.
He's growing. He's got some leeway to do that. You
I
know.
want his bank account, man. He's all over the place.
I know.
He talk about existing. This dude is like living.
Yeah, they know he's
He was
doing
at the
some living
Seinfeld
lately.
Diner the other day. and-
Yep, he went to New York and
Been in
seen all kinds of
submarines.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I won't be existing for too much longer. We're going to be living.
Yep.
I just
Yeah.
want to travel. We want to get on the motorcycle and cruise the country for a bit.
Oh,
He's
sounds
already
great.
done that twice.
Yeah,
Dude,
Just-
they're hardcore. Like
yeah.
they rode their bike the first time they went out wherever you went. They ended up. We're in New England, keep in mind, and they drove to Colorado.
Well, the first time we made it
Somewhere.
to, we went down to Texas. We did around 6,500 miles in
Wow.
14 days. So we're averaging about 700 miles a day
No
on a-
tailbone left.
on a Heritage.
But he posted a picture on one of the trips. They had gotten off the bike and were taking a break, and he was covered from head. All the picture was down to like the bottom of his torso, covered in snow
Yeah. We were in
on a
Wyoming.
motorcycle.
Yeah, on Bighorn Pass. It was 11,000 feet. And when we left, didn't even look like it was going to rain. And we get over the pass and we're right at around 11,000 feet, and it's like a blizzard. And there was snow accumulating on both sides of the road, but not on the road. And a truck driver's coming at us and he's got his thumb up. He's like, "Oh, hey." And I'm like, "No, this isn't cool. I'm a freaking driver. I think I'm going to die." So we pulled over because it was freezing out. And I went to go grab a sweatshirt. And this is May, right around May 12th, because it was our anniversary. And something growled on the side of the road so deep and so low that my wife looked at me. I looked at her. There was like no thought. On the bike and took off. We were no longer cold. It was
Well,
now. I
let's
don't
get
know what it
back-
was, but there were the Grizzlies were all running around over there because they're all waking up, and they have their babies with them, so they get very defensive. So if you pull over, there happens to be one there, the mama can come charging out of the woods. And I was like, I am
Wow.
not sticking around for this. Yeah, it was pretty surreal. That was one of the best trips we've done.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We went through Yellowstone. We went through the Badlands in South Dakota. Made it to Devil's Tower. On the top of Pikes Peak that trip. That was a good ride. A lot of things on the bucket list were crossed off. We were
Yeah.
trying to go to this place called Beartooth Pass, and we got to the gas station to get gas, and the guy's like, "Where are you heading?" I'm like, "Oh, Beartooth Pass up in Montana." And he goes, "Is it open?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Why would it be closed?" He goes, "Because it's a pass." I'm like, "Okay." And he goes, "I don't know if it's open." And I looked up on the line, and it's closed, had 26 feet of snow on it.
Yeah.
I don't think we would go in.
Mike
This is
said,
May. And I'm like,
"What?"
"Oh." Yeah.
Yep. I drove truck out in those conditions, out in those areas, get shut
That's
down for
Ice road
stuff.
trucker.
And
You
that's
do that?
and to get back to the topic of existing, when we were out there, that feeling was just so gone. We would wake up in the morning and we had zero of itinerary. We didn't know where we were going to sleep that night. We just got on the bike and looked at the weather and said, "Okay, we're going west, we're going south, we're going east." It was whatever, just to get around. Hey, gang.
Yeah.
We were trying to get around the weather or whatever, and that was just some of the best riding and so free. You wake up and where are we heading?
This is life.
Just
man.
whatever. Yeah.
And off you go. And you're riding, and when you start to get tired, you take a break. When you run out of gas is when you eat. You get about 175 miles to a tank. So we were stopping like every 2-3 hours anyway to eat and get gas. So, and then what's down this road? And all of a sudden we were heading to one place, and we'd see this road that looked like we needed to take it. So we turn around and we take it, and we get to the very end, and it was 50 miles out of our way, but we have to turn around and come back because I want to see that road now going in the other direction. It was just that kind of stuff. We probably did that 6,400 miles, but I'll bet you about 1,000 of it was repeating the same roads.
To get around stuff.
Well, no, just that we wanted to go down this
Different
road, see what's
perspective,
there,
yeah.
come back to see it the other way. But now we needed to go back that other way.
Oops.
So we go back the third time. So
I was trying to click on a comment, and then another comment came in. I ended up clicking on a
We got
different
some
one.
Joes in here, man.
Yeah.
Red Cabin
Thank you.
Acoustic. Know your Joe?
Yeah.
I
Know
grew
your
it myself.
Or know your Joe's a Bill?
I grew it myself. Yeah, we know your Joe. We know a few Joes.
Joe from Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, there's Know You Joe. Red Cabin Acoustics is a acoustic.
Ah,
I
I don't
always
have
say,
the Rodecaster
I,
Pro
oh,
hooked up,
oh
man.
yeah. Can I do it? Well, I could, but I'd have to like really dig.
What's that?
Let me look. Let me see if I can find it. Layers. Why does it
He
say
did a tag
marketplace
for us, like an intro with his voice.
Yeah. Well, I don't have yours. I got
Well,
mine
mine's for
somewhere.
mine podcast, not yours, so it wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't fit. I don't know how to look for it because it says ad from marketplace. Why does it say that?
Because you're in the dynamic scene on the top.
Oh,
It's when you we're still here. Hold on.
You are
There you
on
go. All right,
stage. There
now
we are.
okay.
go
My
into
bad.
studio mode on the top, and then you can do all
I
that.
was scared. It was dark out.
So media files, right? It was darker. Oh no, media share.
I thought
Don't
these
step
sunglasses
into the
actually
light.
started working. I was like, wait a second.
I don't know how to look for this. Let's see. Media files.
Yeah, if it and it would be either audio or video in there.
Right. Let's look. Keep talking. Don't stop talking.
I'll
Now,
sit-
Don't
now
stop
I'm on.
talking.
I'm sitting here thinking, should
We're all
I
going,
hook
dun,
up my
dun,
Rodecaster?
Yeah, you might want to. I've got to like really search for it. I see stuff for me and
Oh,
Boneyard.
we're in a different studio because the other I have all that stuff in the other studio.
Oh, so never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna put the banner up and everything for
I'm in my dining room,
For-
living room, kitchen.
Joe.
You're in your dining room, living room, kitchen.
It's one big room. Just
That
depends
is a
on which way you're
great
facing. Right now, I'm facing.
Background though, man. I'm just sitting here like this. The whole nostalgic look, man. You just like
It's a little house that my wife and I put together. We bought
This
it.
is a good story too.
We actually weren't trying to buy this house. We were trying to buy land in Maine. And on the way back from Maine, after looking all weekend, we decided to stop in this town here to eat something. And while we were eating and getting our food, my wife's looking on Zillow, the app for houses, and she says, "Well, look how cheap these houses are." And there were houses here that were $17,000, $20,000. There was a 3-decker apartment building, 3-level, with brand new decks on the front for $23,000. I was like, and it was fully rented out. And I'm thinking to myself, we just buy a couple of those, and these people are going to pay rent, and we need to look here. So, making a very long process and story short, we ended up settling on this house. We had actually put an offer in on one house, and it didn't get accepted. And then we put an offer on this house, and the same day that this got accepted, the other house that we really wanted came back on the market. So we ended up getting out of buying this house to put an offer on the other house, only to not getting it accepted, and we lost on that. And we ended up getting this house eventually, and it was a blank slate. There was the gentleman that owned it before us had bought it in 1999 or thereabouts, and he did like about $40,000 to $50,000 worth of renovation through the house. Took all the floors off, raised the 6-foot ceilings to 8-foot first and second floor, no slanted ceilings, all new electrical, all new plumbing, new insulation, new sheetrock, but didn't finish it. It was mud and tape on the walls, wires hanging out of the wall, no fixtures, pipes sticking up through the floor, no cupboards. So my wife and I just kind of cheaped out, and I went very rustic, went as
I love that
inexpensive as
look, man.
possible. And thank you.
People
it's
would
been
pay money to design their studio to have that kind of rustic
You should see
look, man.
the
I appreciate
thought
that.
they
Yeah.
put into this house, like the rest of it, not just behind him, the handrail going up the stairs, the yardsticks for trim.
We went into
It's-
town, and there was a big bucket full of yardsticks. They were like $2 a piece, and they were all the old businesses that were in town when you could get a yardstick from that business. And I took them and I used them as trim around the stairs instead of using like actual wood. We used the yardsticks. The ladder that the person that used to own this house, his name was Harold Johnson. And if we had a whole nother show about that, there's about how we figured out who Harold was. And anyway, there's a ladder that was in the garage, and there's paint on it, and his fingerprints are in the paint because they left him on the ladder, and we used that ladder as the hand railing going up the stairs. So we took everything that was considered junk in the garage and turned it into something here inside the house, made furniture out of it, or the sink is an old wash tub that was in the garage.
I love doing that.
Yeah, me too.
Like pallet wood, going to construction sites.
God, yeah.
I'll raid them. Like if you ride through neighborhoods where they're doing construction, they throw so much wood away.
Well, this right here,
it's got life to it. It's got marks on it. I love that stuff.
This is fairing strip. That you buy 12 of them in a bundle for like $4.
Yeah.
And they're 10 feet long. You just run them on a table saw and you just cut that little rounded edge off. Yeah. And you've got trim wood for dirt cheap,
Yeah.
That's what we used. Whatever we could get cheap. I didn't have a big budget. When we bought the house, it was right around $32,000, $33,000. And I only had about another 20 to make it livable. And there was nothing here. There wasn't even a toilet. It was ready to have one, just didn't have it. So.
It won't let me add them because they're a .wave.
Oh yeah, I hate that. EVMux is only MP3.
How do I change it to an MP3?
You got to download it as an MP3 or convert it. You're not gonna be able to do it now.
Oh, yeah, never mind then. That stinks.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
What was it?
It's Red Cabin Acoustic. He does like voiceover work.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
The stuff
played
that I've
one
been
of
trying
them.
to get you to go into, and he's got a couple
intros for us and stuff.
Yeah, because he's like the Clay Allen Chronicles.
Yeah, it's actually in a couple of my videos. Yeah, one or two.
That's awesome.
The only reason I haven't put it in more is because I'm a nerd. I get all excited and post them and then go, oh, I didn't put this in, or
You do that a lot because you did that with a lot of our videos.
Yep.
But like even your light over your right shoulder, or I can't tell. Yeah, that side. I mean, it's like you couldn't have placed that in a better spot. Like this is all just like
that's just
like
over the kitchen sink, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's just the kitchen sink light. Yeah,
kitchen in the dining room.
Yeah. And all the paintings. My wife makes a lot of the paintings like this.
Spent 2 years in this room trying to get it right, man, and just sitting in your dining room, rocking and rolling.
Their house in Connecticut, the living room, the entire ceiling in the living room is the Centennial flag.
Wow.
Yeah. Those two, that light and that light, they're actually old pie pans. They're Frisbee pie pans upside down. And then those things that are hanging up there, those are wheels that would go on the bottom of a barn door that they would slide open and close. And I wrapped a cord around those and hung them off of that and attached that to there's an I-beam that goes above right there.
Oh, yeah.
And that bamboo right there, that's actually a piece of the handle of an 18-foot long bamboo fishing pole that was found in the basement here that the original owner had. And it still has the hook and the cork bobber on it. And what they would do is on the river over here at the end of my street, there was a lot of shrubbery. So they would just take the pole and they would stick it and hang it over the shrubbery and just dangle the hook, and then the trout would jump on it and then they could pick it up and bring it over. It's pretty neat. Yeah, it's a lot of history here. Love this whole town for that.
Isn't there somebody sharing the house with you?
Yeah, that's that Harold guy we were talking about. The day we walked in this house to look at it, and this is a true story. And I am such a skeptic. I don't believe in any of that stuff, and I don't want this to turn into like that. But when I walked in the door, I could have sworn I had heard somebody say Harry or Howard or something. I could hear it. And I even looked at my wife and the real estate agent. I said, "Did you hear that?" My wife's like, "What?" I said, "You didn't just hear that? Like somebody just said Harry." And she's like, "Nope." And they thought I was crazy. And I'm like, "Whatever." And I said, "Well, I thought I heard it." And that was the end of it. Point going forward, things were happening in the house when I was working here by myself because I left Connecticut to come here. So I stayed here for 2 months working on the house to get it livable. And there was just some freaky things that were happening. And another long story short, when we finally did the history on the house, the guy's name was Harold Johnson that lived here. And we didn't know. And it was just some pretty freaky things. And even when Clay and I have had some videos and all of a sudden they'll be like, "Did you hear that on the microphone?" Because like you'll hear things moving around upstairs, and it's just kind of neat. And I've come to believe that there's something weird here. I'll put it that way. But he's been cool. He hasn't done anything dumb. But people have stayed in the house because I've Airbnb'd it, and we have a little diary that we leave on the table, and people can write in it how the weather was, where they went when they came here, how their stay was. and every one of them is the lights turned on by themselves. The water was running in the bathtub. We heard whistling, that kind of, and it's like people I don't know, just they rented the house, but they wrote like a little haunting that they experienced, and I thought that was neat because I never said anything to anybody before they rented, so it was kind of validated.
I gotta put this up. Joe said the Air Studio at WBWC has all coffee and soup and bean cans hanging as lamps that he made.
Oh wow,
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that. Like you said, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
using things for what they're not.
I can tell you guys are like really good at it. Both houses, when you go to one of their houses, there's like decorations that you wouldn't think of, like old farm tools and stuff just sitting in the corner.
It's my wife. I take zero credit for it. I'll take her to the places where she finds the treasures.
Good,
but she's just really good.
The curtains in the house he's in right now are like old, they're potato sacks.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really it's neat. He's got a lamp that's like built into the wall, and see, those are potato sacks.
Wow.
He's got a lamp that's built into the wall that's like piping.
That's an old mantle that I took out of a house in Thompson, Connecticut, doing a plumbing job. And then there's a window. There's a window that was in the garage over here. It used to be one of the basement windows, and we hung it in it. But
nice.
It's kind of hard to see because it's dark, but there's that big pole. The
lamp is really neat. It's right over that way, but it's cool. Just neat stuff like that.
Yeah. You tell his camera's not bolted to the wall.
Yeah.
I can't do that with my camera.
I know. Well, he's doing
this one is right there.
I couldn't get it.
He's doing similar to the continuity camera, but he uses iRuin, it's called.
All right, better.
And it connects his
I couldn't get it. Laptop. Sorry. Oops.
Yeah. Very nice.
Anywho. It's a nice lamp. I made it out of an old water heater.
What? Oh, the lamp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you tell him about the handrail? The handrail going up
Where'd
the
that
stairs
go?
Is a ladder.
See this? It's not there anymore.
Is Mike Oh no, he's not froze. He's just sleeping.
But yeah, sorry. I'm like keyed in on his. Just looking at his background, man. It's just got a great vibe to it.
It's a bar.
Yeah, it's a roadside bar, like a biker's roadside bar and grill with history.
I would take that. That's such a compliment. I will take that all day.
I'm in awe of it, man. Honestly, I'm kind of upset with myself right now.
Upset with yourself?
Like, like my wall in studio is like I built pallet walls out of just trash piles and.
That's awesome though, because you're not in a room.
No, this used to be my attic. So it was a regular old fashioned attic, nothing up here. And I furnished it out, and the wood and all this other stuff was just pallet wood. My desk is built out of pallet wood. Everything in here is built out of just scrap wood, trash wood. I refuse to go to a lumber yard and pay for the good stuff. I always try to find the old stuff that's got marks and saw marks in it, and that's the wood I want.
That's good stuff. Like that's what I'm trying to get to with this handrail going up the stairway there. Did you describe that already when I was doing something? No.
Yeah, it's a ladder.
It's a ladder that was owned by that Harold guy, and there was handprints of paint in it that he just left in there.
Yeah, so his fingerprints is like the perfect fingerprint of his hand, his palm, and everything.
Yeah, and they left it on there and just made it a hand.
And it was the last color that the house was painted, which was white.
Tells a story.
Yeah,
tells a story. I love it.
So cool.
Yeah.
The hinges that you use to put the headboard on the wall.
Oh yeah. Well, you were here when I was building the headboard.
Wrought iron hinges.
It was all my scrap pieces of wood. I needed a headboard, and I wasn't going to buy one. And after building the house, I had just a bunch of scrap. And I said, I'm just going to use these pieces. And we were down in my basement, and I had a nail gun and a saw and about 20 minutes worth of imagination.
I actually made a really cool video while we were down there.
That's right, you did.
Remember? Yeah. I was did a bunch of slow-mo shots of him with the saw going back and forth and sawdust kicking up. It was
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. I don't know where I would even look to find it now.
But the house is black on the outside, and it's got a red door. and the house was built in 1923. It was just a nice little house, and I was just so surprised that somebody actually put all that time and money into it and then left it.
Yeah.
And it had a boiler, a brand new furnace in the basement, a propane boiler, but it wasn't hooked up. It was still in the box. It was that much of a shell. And I did all the work myself. It was, again, how I said I was a job whore. And in my existence, again, going back to the topic, at least what I can say that maybe that was a lot meant to be for me to be here because of all the trades that I've learned with all those plumbing, electrical, carpentry. So when I got here, there was very little bit. The only one part that I had to do with a contractor was the electrical, because I was planning on renting it out. And for insurance purposes, I couldn't put my own fuse panel in or a circuit breaker box in. But other than that, I did all the other work myself. And it was because of firing bosses once in a while.
Yep.
So,
Firing bosses once in a while.
yeah. Yep. What I'd like to do is get you guys up here and do a live show from out in the woods.
Oh, that'd be great.
Take all the side-by-sides, go up to the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
up to the warming hut. They have Wi-Fi up there. It's all solar powered. It's free. And you get up there and we could do a live show right from the
there.
warming hut, looking over at the windmills across the valley.
Oh man,
We could
Yeah.
do that. We could
Yeah.
do that.
They have the big table in there and everything.
Yeah.
Really
we could
nice.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
I'll just bring all whatever I've got and
I got
portable
I got
power.
some stuff I could bring.
Where are you located, Mike?
He's not far.
I'm in southern Delaware.
Oh, that's not
He's
too
like
bad.
6 hours, 7 hours away.
Yeah. Yep, not
That's
far
not bad.
away at all. Yeah, we go to Pennsylvania. We go to Lancaster a lot.
They got good crab cakes down in Delaware.
Oh, I just had one the other day.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, I brought
Awesome,
home
amazing crab cake.
when I was in the
Sunday.
military,
Yeah.
and I came home. I dropped a kid off, and I want to say it was Baltimore, but I thought it was Delaware. Maybe it was Delaware, and we stopped and we ate, and we had crab cakes, and it was just
Nice.
I love it. I
Phenomenal,
love crab
yeah.
cake. That's my weakness right there.
Yeah.
You're talking. I love crab. I love seafood. Period.
Yeah. Snow crab legs. Yeah.
So.
Love that.
Mhm.
We just
Stuffed
we were
crab
at
shell.
a crab feast Saturday. So we were at a crab feast Saturday. Then Sunday, I had crab cake for lunch. So yeah, it's just. And then I
Nice.
asked my
Oh,
wife
yes.
today. We were leaving. We were going place. It's called the Juicy Bucket. It's a seafood like bar type thing.
That
Seafood
you-
bar.
Just
And my
sounds
wife's
using
like,
the
"I'm
word
just
bucket.
tired."
Sounds like
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, the old chum bucket.
The chum bucket.
Yeah.
Or meaty.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh no! Don't do it.
I know.
Stop him. Stop him.
I can do that whole thing and it sounds
Oh yes,
good.
you can.
My
But it
wife's like,
sounds so
I'm just,
real, it's
I'm
like-
seafood
I
out.
did.
Man.
I actually.
I'm jealous. Kevin had a Dr. Pepper shake today.
It was delish.
I want to
Dr.
try
Pepper
that.
Shake.
A Dr. Pepper milkshake.
Where was that?
He lives in Texas, so he got it from Whataburger.
Oh, Whataburger's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That would be
That's
so
one
cool.
thing about going across the country is you get to experience all those different chains.
Mm-hmm.
But then what sucks is you find a really good one, and you know you're never going to get it again
Yep.
unless you go back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like the Taco Bell isn't the original. There was Taco Mesa.
They've got another one. If Kevin, if you're listening, what is the taco place that you just went to? Let us know. He just said it. He just went there last night when
I guess there's like 5 or 6 of them left or something like that, and they're the original Taco Bell. And
Oh,
they
really?
actually have that Crunch Wrap Supreme. They
yeah.
call it something else, and it was out of this world. And I'm thinking to myself, I'll never have this again. Unless
I know.
go back to
Dude,
Texas.
I would totally go with this crab tacos.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yes.
I would do. I like fish tacos, so crab.
I've never had a
tacos-
fish taco.
Oh, they're so good. I thought it was the grossest, weirdest thing when I heard about it. I was like, "What fish? No." Then I finally had one, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Really? Yeah, huh?
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like tacos.
You know
Where
where
you
I had them? My first fish taco was in some restaurant on Main Street in North Adams, Mass.
Oh well.
We just went for a day drive. She asked where we were going. I said, we're going to Florida. And she's like, what? And I'm like, we're going to Florida, but we're going to be there in about 2 hours. And she's like, huh? There's a town up the Mohawk Trail in Massachusetts called Florida.
Yes. Yeah,
and
it's
she
over
was.
by oh, there's a mountain over there that you can drive up off the Mohawk Trail.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did that.
Yeah, no, we did it in the Jeeps. But it's over by there, that Florida name, because
Yeah.
Old Florida Road is over there,
Well,
and
when
that's
you
where
get
the
to
Jeeps
Florida,
go.
Mass, there's a pull off, and you can go up to the. It's like a, I don't know what you want to call it, like a handrail boardwalk thing, balcony,
Hmm.
and from that point you can see like, I don't know, X amount of states from there. You can see, you don't realize it, but what you're seeing goes all the way up into like Maine or New Hampshire or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
Yep.
That's neat.
Yeah, I had experience like that where you eat something that's the best you've ever had, and you've never had anything since. I was in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and we were a family reunion, so we all went golfing on this golf course on the top of a mountain.
Oh,
Like you would hit off the tee, and then when you hit off the fairway, you'd have to ring this bell to let them know that you were done, so they could hit off the tee because you couldn't see. But you ordered your food on the golf course, and they wrote it out to you and delivered it. And I ordered a calzone. Never had one before. A calzone. Always just go straight pizza. But anyways, they brought it out
yep.
to me. It was the best one I've ever had, and it was like their own kitchen right there on the golf course, their own recipe, and I've never
Huh.
had one since.
So
Anything close to it.
Know Your Joe named a couple. Eric has got Taco Bell, Del Taco, Taco Mayo, Taco Casa.
Taco Casa.
That's probably the one you're thinking of.
Yeah. I was
Kevin,
thinking Mesa, but it's Casa.
Kevin, what's the name of the taco place that you said you were going to last night? Yeah, CJ's like, we just had crunch wraps tonight. Because
I
we
love
did.
the crunch wrap.
We grabbed a crunch wrap on the way home from cheerleading.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
She said earlier, she's like, I'm not even bored.
Today we did a
Watching us.
we did a wedding today out in the park with
Yeah, I was telling them.
the side by sides. Yeah, that was pretty neat. We did a pretty good. It was a pretty good run, and I was gonna get tacos. The reason why I was thinking is because after the fact, I was like, why does this come into tacos? Because we were gonna go out and eat and have tacos, and instead we went somewhere else.
Oh, that's so weird.
You're talking about tacos coming, and I'm thinking, man,
You're like,
I had a really good Caesar salad, but it just wasn't tacos.
When does Taco Bell close, man?
He wants to go to
I
Taco
know,
Bell
right?
now.
You could always make a run for
You
the
know what?
border,
They
man.
used to be open. Well, in Florida, they were
Get a
open till
gordita.
2 a.m.
Yeah, that was the
And
one place you could go to.
You could
Yeah,
always
late.
go, and it was
Yeah.
cheap, and you could get a lot of food, and
Yeah.
you could get.
I used to manage one right after the military. The one in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Okay, so yeah, where he went last night was Taco Casa.
They have the
oldest
best
daughter-
Crunch Wrap Supreme.
My oldest daughter used to work at Taco Bell, so I always get like the extra stuffed burrito. when
Oh
I
yeah.
order it.
At
Yeah.
night I would fill up they had this like fridge is what it looked like, but it was a warming fridge. And at the end of the night there would always be like this rush, people would show up. So I was like, screw that, I'm not going to get behind the 8 ball in this one. So I made a shitload of food and I loaded up that thing and nobody showed up. And I was like, so what do you do with all this food? So I just shoved it all in bags, and I had a Fiat Spider when I quit the military. When I left basic training in AIT, I came home. I had bought a Fiat Spider, and I had this thing full. It was like a mobile Fiat Spider Taco Bell, and I pulled up to Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm just feeding people 25 cents, man, and they're freaking coming over handing me like $10. They're all half in the bag. Everybody's
Tacos
walking
and-
around with burritos and Dunkin' Donuts
Yeah,
coffee.
burritos and coffee.
Yeah, they said as long as you had a coffee, you could hang out in the parking lot there, and it was like the place to go. The Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know why, but it was right on the corner.
So
of
everybody
Cass
always
Avenue.
got a coffee.
Yeah, so everybody would have a coffee cup. I wouldn't say it was coffee in it, but everybody had a cup. And and it would be, if there wasn't 50 people there, 60 people at any given point, there wasn't any. It was just always a group of people there until like 3 a.m, and then everybody would go home. So I just show up and I had 60 burritos. I had those 12 packs.
That's great,
of-
man.
of
Where were you when I
tacos.
was back then?
know.
Like,
And then
that
when they
was
had
great.
those old school burger days where at McDonald's, they used to sell cheeseburgers for 35 cents and hamburgers for 25 cents. They do it like once in a while in the summer. I go in with a $20 bill. Give me as many cheeseburgers as I can get. And one time we went to the one in Putnam and they screwed up, and a guy was making my order and a girl was making my order, and they gave me double. I
Oh,
must have had like 80 cheeseburgers. There wasn't a sign between my house and the Thompson Speedway that didn't have a cheeseburger stuck to it. You unwrap it, take the bread on it. For the longest time, those burgers were there too. You drive by, oh look, there's another one. I fed this
Order
homeless
up.
dude. I went up to him,
Order
I'm
up.
like, are you hungry? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, here you go, man. I handed him like 20 burgers. He's like, what do I do with this? And I'm like, chuck him
I gotta hit
inside.
him, throw him out the window. What's up, Jess? Just wanted to say hi. Thanks for joining.
I mean, not that I would ever do that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, of course not. No.
You did. You totally did.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's just for show
Biodegradable.
purposes.
Yeah, it's well, except the wrapper, but
Yeah,
somebody's gonna eat it. 'Cause
everything's
it's got
biodegradable except McDonald's burgers.
cheese paper.
Yeah.
Gotta eat
No,
the
those
cheese
burgers,
paper.
that's like a Twinkie. That thing doesn't go
Yeah,
bad.
they
No,
just
it
get
doesn't, yeah.
Petrified.
Yeah, they just dry up and get hard, but they don't.
Yeah,
I think if you soak it in water, it reconstitutes.
it's right back
Yeah.
to what it was. Then you just warm it up in the microwave.
Yeah.
NHL hockey pucks.
Burgers done.
Ding.
In Michigan, yeah. they're just
Trick is
winter hockey
take the
pucks.
cheese off the paper because.
What'd you say, Mike?
They were hockey pucks in the wintertime.
Oh yeah.
You need a hockey puck.
You always give those
when
to
the
the kid
flakes
that's
were
got
frozen.
the loose tooth. Here, take this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that cheese dries to the paper, and you go to eat it off, and you eating the paper too. It's like how
It
does
cuts
that,
your throat.
you can make glue out of that cheese that would be
Yeah.
better than some
Yeah,
of
like
that
this
crazy.
burger ain't
we
very
put
good. It
stuff.
tastes like cardboard. No, that's the wrapper, bro.
You're eating the
Take
box.
the wrapper
I
off.
swear to God, this thing tastes like paper.
There's like a bite missing out of your box. You know,
Your
little
cheese
Big
got a
Mac.
McDonald print on it? No. It does
can't.
not.
Your cheese got a McDonald print on it.
Yeah. It's McDonald's cheese. It's like a nacho cheese, McDonald's cheese.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's funny. So I
But-
told you we would laugh if we had him on here.
Oh, that's great.
Obscure reference to McDonald's and cheese and assholism.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was like a reference to anything, but anyway, we were at a McDonald's one time and I was in my Jeep and there was nobody there. The parking lot was wide open. And I just went to the drive-thru. I got my food and I parked across 4 spots. And I wasn't doing it to be a dink. I just pulled up and just stopped and I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. And a friend of mine was with me and we're eating our fries and I'm getting ready to dig into my burger. And this guy comes up on the side of me in a little K car convertible. And he's like, what are you, some kind of an asshole? And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're an asshole for parking across all those spots. I'm like, dude, there's nobody here. We're the only 2 cars besides the people that work here. What's your problem? Well, you think you're all big and badass for parking across 4 spots. And he just gets out of his car and walks into the store yelling with his flip-flops. And he gets into the store and I'm standing there and I'm like, he thinks I'm an asshole? I take my fries and I just like, and I throw them out into the car. And they're like, seagulls from everywhere came down to eat the French fries out of his car. I go, look at my buddy. I go, now I'm an asshole.
Ace Ventura.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they're
It
all
was
like
just like
ascending
that.
upon
I
this
couldn't believe
car.
how many of those McDonald's come out of everywhere. They were just phenomenal. Oh. Yeah, the McDongle
Oh,
during Lincoln, Rhode Island.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a true story. I wonder if he tells the story like I do. Probably
the
not.
version's probably slightly
This
different.
asshole.
I'm gonna answer a couple things here. I'm not sure what Joe's experiencing. Maybe he figured it out.
Oh yeah, because we stream to 3 different YouTube channels.
There's
My
3.
channel plus your 2. So if
Yep.
someone's watching the stream on one of these 3 channels, they're not going to see people's comments on
right,
the other
yeah.
2.
Yep, they'll
Yeah.
miss that. So that is what I was talking about. One of the features on Riverside is I think everybody sees everybody's in it. They can see it from Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever they're watching from.
Gotcha.
And I
Oh,
think
wow, so
everybody
they're
else,
not just going to the YouTube channel then? They're going wherever.
wherever they go.
Understood.
But I think everybody else sees their comments as well. And it says where they commented from.
Oh, wow.
Man, you're making me hungry.
You guys are talking too much. So I had to, about food, I'm like, I got to eat something.
I have kids.
I have
and
to
all-
get
all
up.
my
I
food
can't
is
see. I
up
don't
here.
have a refrigerator on the side of me. I'm not professional like you guys.
Now
Yes.
I have kids that like teenagers, so I get groceries and I bring them up to my studio and keep it up here.
I'm ready to see like somebody start doing this and the Jiffy Pop thing starts popping up.
Right. Mounds up right by
You
the
got
camera.
a burger over there like sorry about the
No, I just happened to have some pistachios sitting here, so I'm like, I'm gonna eat those.
pistachios.
Huh?
You look, you zoom out, and there's like a big pile of shells on the side of his desk. He gets up, you hear.
Skillets, everything's on fire.
Yeah.
You're just kind of, rolls.
You're like, ooh, ow, the grease burns.
It's popping on.
Is it raining or is that a burger sizzling? It's raining.
Propane grill in the attic.
I'm ready to go over to my freezer and grab the orange sherbet creamsicle ice cream.
Oh. Do it up, man.
No, I don't want to do that.
Go.
I'll be sitting here with it all in my beard.
I was sitting here eating a half gallon of
I'll be in an
chocolate
ice cream
when
coma.
we were on here earlier.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, he was.
So I'll just make toast. Just sit here and make toast.
He wanted to get familiar with the Riverside, so we went on, and he's like, I'm just warning you. He's like, I don't feel good, so I might not look good.
But I'm enjoying this ice cream.
Yeah, he was just shoveling the ice
shoveling
cream
it.
in big mouthfuls. Yeah.
Oh, man, you're talking me into it. I also have
Go-
black cherry raspberry ice cream.
Go do
Oh,
it.
that's the best.
Yeah, it is. It's like
At least you only have to get up and turn around
I
and go
can't
right
hear
there.
you. I'm in ice cream mode. I'll be right back.
We have to go downstairs. Except I've got a refrigerator up here. There's just no snacks in it.
Lunch break.
Yeah.
Live stream lunch
After an
break.
hour and a half. Live stream lunch break. We had some viewers at one point. We were up to like 12.
Yeah.
And we're back down to 8 now. Everybody took off to go get something to eat.
That's what I'm saying. We went from 12 to 8 like that. Everybody just logged off.
Everybody's
to go
like,
eat.
I gotta go make a grilled cheese, man.
We'll be right back. One moment, please.
Cue
I'm
the
sitting here.
elevator music.
So anyway, like I was trying to say, right, with this guy.
That's exactly what Clay was looking at when we were in Riverside earlier.
Yeah, see,
He's there talking to me. I'm eating right out of the half-gallon bucket, like literally scooping it out like you were.
I told you.
Yeah.
Why get a glass? You run out.
And if I get a bowl, then I gotta wash it.
See, this guy gets it.
He taught me something cool, Mike.
What?
That's really good. It's a glass of dessert.
Mm-hmm.
You take milk, pour yourself a glass of milk, however much milk you want, and then treat that milk like it was a coffee, and put some vanilla, like French vanilla creamer in it, and put just the same amount you would put in your coffee, and drink that milk.
Huh?
It's so good. It's
I'll
like
have to
it's
try
like
that, 'cause I love
it's
milk
like-
too.
it's like drinking ice cream.
Okay, so I've got. No wonder why it's so bright.
CJ.
What?
I have got a new,
What
most
CJ do?
refreshing drink I've ever had in my life 2 nights ago, and I made it. It's so easy. Lime, just a green lime.
Mhm.
Section it in 4 pieces. Throw it in a blender. 3 of them. 2 cups of water. Dump it in, and blend it. Just get it really, really blended. Then take one of those metal strainers and just pour the liquid through the metal strainer and get all the pulp out. And all you want is the lime juice and water. Put it back in the blender. 2 cups of ice or 3 cups of ice. And a half a can of condensed milk.
Oh yeah, smoothie time.
Put it in there and mix it. Out of this world.
Oh my God.
Out of this world. I couldn't get enough of it. It was that good. Marshall and I made some. I used 5 limes and a full can of condensed milk with the ice, and we were both just like, this is so good, so refreshing, so good. It's called a Brazilian lemonade,
Sounds good.
Huh.
and there's no lemons in it.
We
Right.
got-
It was phenomenal.
Joe's picking up son at Five Guys right now.
Everybody's eating.
Picking up my son at Five Guys.
Never mind. You don't get
Hi,
him.
my name's
I'll
Boneyard.
get
I'm
him.
an
I'll pick him
overeater.
up. You stay here. I'll go get him.
Oh, this is what CJ was saying
Yeah.
earlier, Eric.
She's ready to bring you a care package.
Your whatever your joke was. She goes,
Me,
boneyard.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it under pressure, CJ. I think I honk like a horn, right?
I was laughing because she said, "Dad, do you want me to bring you coconut ice cream upstairs?"
Oh my god!
Oh, she's right here. She's scared the crap out of me.
Door dashing.
We're talking about your comment, right? Oh, look.
Food assistant.
There it is.
All right. So in the comments, write
so
what
bad
you're
right
eating because
now.
we know everybody just went to go grab something.
Dad likes ice cream.
Hi, CJ.
My dad
Tearing up
likes
my
ice
Walmart
cream
cookies.
and coconut ice cream specifically,
Oh.
so I grabbed him his coconut ice cream.
Coconut ice cream. I don't think I've ever had
It's
coconut.
actually not ice cream. It's dairy free, gluten free. Because I'm trying to see what is gonna hurt my gut or not, and it's really good, man. It's cookie dough ice cream. Well, not ice cream, but whatever, but made out of coconut milk.
Everybody's literally
Everybody's eating.
across the world.
Just
Why
go get
not?
something. Okay.
Dave in
Yeah.
the Philippines probably eating a bowl of cereal as he's watching this.
Cereal. You put that on your ice cream. Best thing you can do.
Oh, yeah. Try that.
Oh,
Chocolate.
Captain Crunch. Yes.
Oh, Captain
That's what I was
Crunch
gonna say.
Berry.
Peanut
Get
butter.
Captain
Oh,
Crunch.
yeah.
What's the one with the mixed berries?
Crunch
Put
Berry.
that on your ice cream. Crunch berries. That is good.
I just like
Peanut butter.
cornflakes on vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I just got that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like a bite of ice cream cone in every bite.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. It's good.
Everybody's coming back from the
Yeah. They're
restaurant. Kitchen.
Got Ben and Jerry's
I don't know.
chocolate fudge
Joe might
brownie
be
in
going
front of
right
me
now to
right
get
now.
something to eat. He's like, be right back.
Everybody's
Live
logging
stream.
back in.
Is eating Ben and Jerry's right now.
Oh.
They're
Chocolate
all gonna be
fudge
like,
brownie.
I don't know if I want to watch these guys show anymore because every time I do, I gain 2 pounds.
Welcome to another episode of Weight Gainers.
Just existing, eating.
Tonight's episode, lard. It's your friend.
How to cope with just
You
existing.
can put enough sugar in anything. It's good.
How to cope with just existing.
Yeah.
So we got somebody that just popped in, JP Online. The original subject of tonight was existing, which
We're
the
talking about
premise is,
coping skills.
yeah, the premise is that we're just living, you know, not really, or we're not living, we're just existing, going to work, paying our bills, and that's what it talked about. So now we have moved on to the coping skills.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm
where
not
we
going to
are.
live large, but I'm going to be large.
I'm gonna be large while I'm living.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're eating because we talked about food too much. So
Mhm.
Guys
join
are
us.
horrible.
Bring some ice cream, JP Online, or whatever you got.
I was eating my
JP Online, is that JP?
I don't know. Is that JP? JP? Do we know
JP.
you, JP, or is that a different JP? Because we know a JP. Let's see what he says, or they say.
Man, I
What
got
do
a
we
wicked
got?
ice cream headache going on. Right
Chris has got Ben and Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie
Man.
Yeah.
in front of him right now. Ah, see, yeah. You
So
got to
I'm
have
on-
ice cream out in New Mexico.
I'm on the 3rd floor. My fridge is on the 1st floor. I got to get a mini fridge up here.
Well, or you got to get an assistant that'll bring you up some ice cream randomly.
Yeah. Not my kids.
These are still wet.
Nuh-uh. Not
No,
yours, you said.
Somebody brings me ice cream in the house, I'm running. Holy crap, he's moving stuff. He used to just bang on the wall, but now he's actually moving.
Now he's bringing me food.
I know
I
he's
would
been
just-
screwing with me. I can't find the damn remote. It's around here somewhere.
It's not the JP we know.
Okay. That's the
It
JP
says,
we
I've
don't
watched some videos, but I don't think you guys know me.
Oh,
That's
thanks for-
okay. We're still
thanks for joining in,
glad to
man.
have you. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, this guy. All right.
It's either ice cream or fresh hatch green chili.
There's a I've been seeing it on Facebook a lot and I want to try it. It's called 575. and it's salsa and like different sauces made from the hatch chilies out in New Mexico.
Oh wow.
The guy does this ad on Facebook that will slay you. He's got his pickup truck on the side of the road out by the chili farms, whatever you want to call it. And he's got a can of this or a jar of this sauce. It's green. He's got a green one and a red one, and he's got a big old cheeseburger, and he's just pouring that sauce onto the cheeseburger and taking bites. And you're looking at it going, "Oh my God, I want that." You know, you don't even care. You just want to see how it tastes.
I gotta put this away, or I'll eat the whole damn thing. I'll be right back.
Oh,
But this stuff is actually really good. It's made out of coconut milk.
whew.
So that the whole issue that I've been having with my stomach and my digestive, I was trying to figure out if I had an issue with lactose, dairy. So I bought this to try to still have a dessert. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris says, Hatch, New Mexico is 30 minutes from me. When it's harvest time, the entire Hatch Valley will make your eyes water.
Oh wow.
And I'm back.
I guess the
Cheers,
fumes
right?
like from the peppers getting picked.
Ooh. Wicked ice cream headache. I was like, oh, I'll just take one more big ass bite before I put it away. It's like I should have broke that up over 2 small bites. Or
Oh,
smaller.
Italian ice cream for the first
don't
time.
do that
Wish
because
me
it'll
luck.
echo.
Ooh. Luigi Italian ice is awesome.
Never
Yeah,
had
I think
that.
I've had it.
Yep.
I've
It's
never
the
had
real ones in those little cups that you get
Yeah,
with the wooden
it's-
spoons.
It's good.
I think half the flavor of it was off that wooden spoon too.
Mhm.
And then you don't have any more ice cream, so you try to get out as much out of the wooden spoon as possible, but then it starts to splinter.
Right.
Yeah. What were those things when you were a kid in the ice cream truck and they had that gumball at the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
Remember those? It was like a plastic
Yes.
triangle cup almost, and it had a
Yeah.
gumball. Always really good. You get
What
to the
was
gumball.
that?
I figured
I
like a
remember
rocket
that.
pop or something, but it wasn't, because the rocket pop was just that red, white, and blue popsicle.
Yes, that was
But
a
it was
rocket pop.
Yeah, there was one with the gumball.
I remember the gumball. I just can't remember what the heck it was called.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I miss the old ice cream truck. I went through
Yeah.
a neighbor's window for one of those.
My grandfather used to mess with me, man, because he had a recording on a cassette tape of an ice cream truck. So if I was in the house for too long, he'd go out in the backyard and play it on the boom box, and
That's
you'd run right
hilarious.
out to the front of the house and just wait for the ice
Can't
cream
hear you.
truck that's not coming.
And you're standing out there and
Ice cream, ice
I was like,
cream.
oh, he's coming! He's on the back side. He's on the street behind us.
Mom, throw down some
No!
money. The
Grandpa's
ice cream
like,
man is coming.
Grandpa's like, got him out of the house.
Remember, we heard the ice cream truck, and it was like you could be in the middle of anything, and all of a sudden you hear do 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 do
Ooh.
do do, and
Yeah.
it was like, it didn't matter what it was, you know.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
could be in an ultimate game of hide and seek. Ice cream truck, oh my god, you know.
Yeah.
But we
Well,
heard it, and it was still like 5 miles away.
Oh, yeah.
You
Well, we
know?
were all running out the door, and they had a storm door, and I was the last one. And when they ran out, they kept on pushing the door, and it was bouncing off the spring, and I wasn't that close, and the door went out, and when it swung shut, I put my arms out like this,
Do you want
and
some
my
of this?
hands went through it, and I cut myself pretty good.
Mm.
So I have my bad memories of that ice cream, man.
JP Online got the mango.
Mango flavored one. Oh, really?
That sounds good.
Yeah, the cherry one's good. Then they have a lemon one, don't they? It's like a lemonade.
Yep. I've had the whatever it is, the red one and the lemonade one.
Have you ever had a Dell's?
Yes. Oh, I don't
Frozen
know if he
lemonade?
has.
No, they don't have them down there, I don't think.
No.
It's
That's a
a,
New
it's a
England thing.
frozen lemonade. It's like a slushy, and they have the rind still in it and everything. And
Yeah.
you can buy them off a truck, usually on the side of the road. They
They're
have
really
a couple
good.
stores, but they're called Dell's Frozen Lemonade. It's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Ooh. I ate too much.
Yeah.
Well, that ice cream was phenomenal.
She took off. I might have to go put this in my little freezer over here. 'Cause I
You
can't-
do you have a fridge. I knew it.
I know.
You have a fridge. I was thinking to myself, he's
I
gotta
do.
have a fridge in there. I knew you changed your rooms. The reason why is because his last one, he was right next to the fridge. Now he had to get a fridge.
Yeah, left the kitchen, so he brought the
Yeah,
kitchen to
yeah,
him.
he left
yeah.
the I knew it.
he's like, I knew it.
There's a hot plate too, I bet, right up there. So he's making grilled cheese.
He's making grilled cheese.
I know he's doing it.
No, I don't have that.
Would
Is
you
that
like
gonna-
a slice of tomato? I've got some tree and crumpets.
That's awesome.
Yeah. With me, it's more like those rice cakes.
Yeah.
And it's like a half of one.
He's like, he tells me he feels guilty or something, but he's like never wanting to fill the house with groceries. And he's
Well, no,
always
because
like,
I don't know if I'm going to be here. And
he's like, oh, I'm hungry, but all I have is this big block of cheese and some bread.
yeah, I was
I'm
eating like I was
I'm like, dude,
homeless.
go to the store, get some food. Come on.
I don't want to waste a good what is that? I don't want to waste good ramen noodle.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Dude, I love
We tear
ramen.
that up.
I gotta just be careful. That I'm gonna
Why?
tell you
You
how
have an
my favorite way to eat ramen, and it might sound gross, but if you try it, I guarantee you'll like it. Do you like queso? Either of you?
What is it?
Never had
Queso.
it.
Queso?
No.
No, what's queso?
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
no. Sorry.
You guys don't know what queso?
No.
My
Cheese-
simple
cheese
brain
dip for,
doesn't
like,
know
nachos?
what queso is.
Cheese dip for like nachos?
That's queso?
Yeah.
I just call it cheese dip for
Yeah, I would have
nachos.
thought that was
No.
cheese dip.
Queso.
Sorry.
Okay, so anyway,
Nacho dip.
take some cake. Like, you can
Nacho
buy in the
dip.
store the
Okay.
Tostitos queso.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so now you're gonna be. It's queso.
Get some of that. I'll take beef ramen. Yeah.
Got it.
I'll take beef ramen. Then I'll take Johnsonville cheddar sausages, like the cheddar brats or whatever.
Ooh.
Cut those up, make the ramen noodles, stir in my beef seasoning, throw in all those chopped up pieces of cheddar brats, and then put like 1, maybe 2 tablespoons of queso in there and mix that all together.
Oh wow,
It is so good.
that is church straight up.
Yeah, it is so good.
I could definitely fall
Yeah.
into that. Yeah, no, that's all I had in the house for a while. Then I had this chili stuff I bought, and I ate one can. I'm like, this stuff is horrible. I look at it, it's like 3 years too old. I'm like, oh, that's probably why it's a little
Yeah.
bad. Oh, it tastes like a 9-volt battery. It's kind of weird.
9-volt battery.
It
When you said
tingles.
that, we were eating waffles the other day and we're like, man, this stuff tastes like cardboard. And my wife's like, she opens up the butter and she's like, this butter don't look good. Butter doesn't expire, does it? I was like, yeah. Look at it. It's 2022.
Oh
And
no,
we're spreading that over the waffles. We wonder why the waffles taste bad. It's not the
Yeah.
waffles.
it's not the waffles.
Stuff's expired 2 years
You
ago.
better get more butter.
Yeah. I can't believe it's not butter. It ain't.
Yeah, it's definitely not
anymore.
anymore. It used to be butter.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I've done that a few times. That expiration date gets me.
Mm-hmm.
We were at a friend's house and we were playing cards one night, and it's like middle of June, and they are very good with their money. They're very careful with it. I'll put it that way. They're not cheap. They're just very careful with it. And his wife will go to like these. I don't know where she gets some of the stuff, but it's like Coca-Cola or it's Pepsi, but it could be old. And this is like June, and I'm looking at the can, and it's got a Santa Claus on it. And I'm like, so I'm drinking it, and it just doesn't taste right. So I go to pour it out, and it's Coca-Cola, and it's clear. I'm like,
It's clear.
why is the Coca-Cola clear? So then I'm like, the can is still heavy, but it's empty. It's because all the sap or whatever they put in the
Yeah,
Coke is like separated and is at the bottom of this can. You couldn't knock the can over on a bet. You push it over, and the thing would stand right
It
back
was
up again. It was so heavy
Just like
at
the
bottom.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall
Yeah,
down.
it was like a Weeble can, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Had the little airplane. It's a Coke can in it instead of a Weeble. So they freaking. So I'm like, where did you get these? And she's like, well, I got them on sale. And Brian's like, well, when did you get them on sale? And she goes, well, I don't know. They were a little while ago. I'm like, well, it's June. I mean, I wouldn't think Coca-Cola would separate in 6 months. Then we're looking at the can. It was like 7 years old.
Oh my god!
She wasn't rotating the stock. She was just getting new Coke and just putting it on the shelf. And
were
finally, they
selling them
ran
as
out, and they finally get
collectibles.
into the back of the supply.
Getting to the back, yeah.
I've never thought I'd ever see Coca-Cola separate.
They're selling them as collectibles, and she's getting them to
Yeah.
drink it.
What is this, Diet Coke or something?
Yeah. They were collectibles.
Yeah, collect the whole set. You did. You can
drank
stop
the
collecting now.
Yeah.
You drink
got
the
'em all.
collector's
We
set.
just drank the collection.
Yeah, we just drank all the extras.
I served it with dinner.
Yeah. These are my duplicates.
We had
you
company
can drink
over.
these. It's Coca-Cola. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for
This
you.
will put hair on your chest. No, it might remove it now. I'm pretty sure it's gonna do a lot like that.
It'll de-ice your windshield.
Yeah, it's great for rashes. If you don't have one, you'll have
chafing
one
is a
after
thing of the
drink it.
past.
Oh,
You don't know
God.
what your allergies are. You're gonna find out real
I
soon.
didn't twitch like this until I had that Coca-Cola. Don't worry, it goes away.
Had that Santa Claus Coke in June.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Christmas in July, they say, right?
We even got a Coke for it.
Yeah. Yeah, surprise, it sucks.
I can't feel my
Surprise!
face.
It sucks. Is that what you
It's
said?
horrible.
It sucks.
I've never chewed soda before. It was horrible.
Yeah.
You needed a can opener to finish drinking it.
You gotta drink it through your teeth to stop the chunks.
Yeah. You're filtering it
Yeah,
out.
you're filtering it out.
Chip my tooth drinking my soda.
Yeah. Oh man.
God,
Is
help
this
us.
cottage cheese or is it Coke? I don't.
Oh,
Is
I
it
can't feel my
cottage
face.
cheese or Coke.
Oh boy.
Now I'm all stuffed up from
I know.
laughing.
I'll have another piece of that soda.
Yeah. Can you cut me another slice?
Take it a chunk.
I'll have another piece of the soda, please.
It's weird how it's still fizzy. You chew it and it fizzes.
It's a
Crazy.
crazy
Cut me another
experience.
slice of that pizza, that soda, will you?
Oh God.
I can't. I can't.
What did I tell you, Mike? I told you we were gonna laugh.
We're not just existing tonight, man.
No.
We're having some
Damn
memories
it, we've
here.
just we've gone past existing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it,
Great
but we're
memories,
past it.
man.
It would have been better if I had a word for it.
Would have been better.
We're consuming stuff that's been existing for a while.
Yeah. What was
I'll
in that
have
ice
another
cream?
piece.
Well, what was it? The pictures of mushrooms on that ice cream I had? I thought it was Nintendo ice cream. Nope.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah. Funny,
That
funny
was
stuff.
fun.
my Coke was so fluffy.
It's like the what do they call it? The fruit cake in the military. You know, you get it in the can.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That
like
was your soda.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually peel the can and the soda's like
Yeah.
that. Eat it like corn.
You want a piece? What is it? It's Diet Coke. You want some or not?
It also keeps my boots black if you rub it on.
Yeah.
They've never shined so nice.
Oh God.
No, wait, I can't do this.
They've never shined.
Change
so
my
nice.
oil with it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Got an extra 6,000 miles out of my oil change with that
And it's
soda.
super absorbent. It just picks up all kinds of stuff.
I changed the front tires on my car the other day and used them as the chalk block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, help
my-
me, man. I got
Huh?
tears.
Yeah. I got them.
Oh, know
We
what you're
lost
gonna get,
viewers
man.
while we were laughing.
yeah.
Yeah.
How?
Funny
That
stuff.
was fun
We
though.
gotta catch up, man, on these comments.
All right,
It's been
let's-
a while.
Let's go where I already did the mango. Chris was talking to Know Your Joe about coming out there for like those the Hatch
Oh,
chili
yeah,
festivals, I
Summit.
guess. Yeah,
Hatch chilies. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hatch, New Mexico. That's where all the good chilies are.
I don't think I've ever had a Hatch chili.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I have either. I just know that that's Hatch New. I know about Hatch, New Mexico, and I know that that's their commodity.
What is the Vid Summit? Good question. What is the Vid Summit?
Let's
I'm
get
taking it must
answer.
be like a conglomerate of people who make videos.
Oh, he didn't tell us
Yeah.
what it was. He just told us. Yeah, probably video. Yeah.
It's like NAB, a smaller NAB. People get together.
He's still not. He's still not saying what it is.
It's in Las Colinas. There's still tickets available.
We're all reading
Well, we're
it.
just here we go.
Oh, Lori. I said we lost people while we were laughing. She said, "Not me. I'm loving it."
Lori said that.
Yeah. Lori, if you didn't notice, Eric, the same last name. That's Mike's wife.
Oh, okay. Very good.
I got her talked into coming on the show one night, and she pretty much roasted Mike the whole time. It was
Oh,
Oh.
he's using
Wait,
his cell phone for the
How to do
camera.
that?
great. Called
Sorry,
him out
Clay.
left and right, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So we were
That's
like
funny.
looking. She's like, "I like his camera. What is that? Cell phone." She's like, "And what'd you pay for your camera?" It's like $1,300. I like his better.
Yeah.
Thanks, dear.
Mine looks
Appreciate
weird,
it.
doesn't it? Does it have like a weird grain to it?
No.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
weird. No, the hues. It's got like a greenish, yellowish hue, I guess, but it doesn't look weird. It looks fine.
It kind of feels like that's part of the room.
Yeah,
you're in.
it is.
It's
It's
the
the way
atmosphere of
the,
the room.
the
Yeah.
light is. It's just has a lot of the
It
ceiling's
works.
white.
Yeah.
But I have a lamp that I got. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't know where I got it. It just appeared here one day, Harry. And,
Yeah.
no, then I think
Telling
of
you,
it.
man. He's
Right.
Harry
And
likes
I use
collecting
it
too.
to. It's got a lampshade on it. It's got a yellow bulb in it, and that's what's kind of giving me that light. That's
You know what was great? A couple times when we were doing, so me and Eric, we were doing a podcast for a little bit on Spotify and YouTube before I started getting heavier into YouTube, and it was called Silent 8. We just came up with the name, and this is what we did every time. We just sat around and we laughed and talked about the stupidest crap and laughed, and every now and then we'd be talking and he would just stop and go like that, and like he
Do
would
you
be
need a mic?
silent, and
Do
I'm
you
like,
want a mic?
what do you what's
Yeah.
what's the matter? And he's like, do you hear that?
Harold, take the mic.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I didn't hear that. And he's like, there's somebody upstairs.
Yeah, no, it was definitely somebody walking around that night or something. My first night here, when I slept in the house for the very first time, I was on the phone with my wife. It was like around 10 o'clock at night, and I could hear somebody clanging dishes in a sink of some kind. And I was thinking to myself that the house had been vacant for 50 years, that a homeless person might have had a way in and out of the house, that maybe a window or something that I didn't know. And they were in here getting their stuff out, because that's exactly what it sounded like. It sounded like somebody had, for lack of better explanation, clanging dishes in a sink, a porcelain sink. That's the only way I could explain it. So I'm up there and I'm on the phone and I've got my gun.
And you had no sink.
No, there's no sink. There's
Yeah.
no nothing. There's no plumbing yet. I had a toilet, a tub, and me in a bed. And I'm walking down the stairs with my gun, the flashlight on my phone. I got my wife on there.
in his
I'm in my
tighty
tighty whities. And I believe me,
Ready
I'm not
for
a guy to be
battle.
seen in his tighty whities if I could scare the ghost. And so I'm coming down the stairs, and they didn't have a rise to the stair. It was just a tread. So you could see down into the basement through the upstairs by looking down. And all I could think was somebody was going to reach through the stairs and grab my foot. That's all you could think. The electricity in the house was 2 4-plug gang outlet boxes that they were wired into the fuse box, and it was 50-foot lengths of electrical wire, and it was just a 4-plug box on the end of it. That was the extent of the electrical in this house when I bought it, 2 of those. So I had a lamp plugged into that, and I'm trying to drag the lamp with the cord and my gun and the phone and my underwear coming down the stairs. And I'm like, I got a gun. If you're in the house, I'm giving you time to get out. I live here now. And there's nothing, but I can still hear like clink, 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 clink. And I'm like, my wife's on the phone. She can hear it over the phone. She goes, there's somebody there. I'm like, I know, I can hear him. So I come down the stairs, and you come down the stairs, and then you have to like walk around them. And then the basement stairs are directly underneath those stairs. So you kind of have to do like a 180, so to speak. So I go around, and now I'm over by the basement stairs, and I'm like, if you're in here, I'm gonna come and get you. I got a gun, and I'm in my underwear, and I'm trying to like freak him
I'm
out.
in my
And I
underwear.
get down in the basement, and there's nobody there. There's just nothing, and the dishes sound stopped. So fast forward to a month later, my wife is here for the very first time. 2:00 in the morning, I get and I'm like, what? She goes, there's somebody downstairs, and you can hear it. It was so like somebody was washing dishes in the sink, and there was no sink yet. There still wasn't a sink. It was crazy. That's what made me kind of just like, okay, well, somebody else heard it, and I was here, and I don't know, it was just very strange.
Confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah. And like when Gino was here at 1:00 in the afternoon and on the front door, but there was nobody there, and it sounded like it came from the inside, not
But
the
Gino
outside.
heard it.
Yeah, Gino and I
Yeah.
were both sitting in the living room. The door is 5 feet away from both of us. And it sounded exactly like somebody was pounding on the door. And he looked at me and went, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, I don't know. And I looked out the window, and he was looking out the window, and I opened the door, and there's nobody there. And I said, I'm glad somebody else was here when something like that happened, because it's happened a couple times. And I'm getting like really used to it. And people are here, and they're like, what the heck was that? And I'm like, don't worry, just Harold. He doesn't do anything.
It's just Harold.
Don't worry.
He doesn't buy expired food, I can tell you that.
Yeah, he doesn't chew his soda.
Yeah. He doesn't,
He's not offering me bums.
provides solid Coke.
Yeah. Would you like a glass of cottage cheese or sour cream? No, thank you.
A glass of cottage cheese.
Yeah. Well, it was milk, but it was last week.
Yeah.
Next week's science project, who knows?
Yeah.
This week it's still edible. Just pulled away from the side of the dish about a half inch, but it's fine. Anywho.
You got any ghost stories in your old house there, Mike?
Not this one. No, but the house I had in Michigan, we used to be my dad's house. Then he passed away, so we were living in it. And he used to say all the time that the house was haunted. And you knew when the ghost was there because the clock on the wall would stop, one of them grandfather clocks.
Wow.
And all the time. And so we still have that clock. And every time the clock stops, I forget. Lori, if you're listening to that, she remembers the name. I don't remember the name of this ghost, but she does. Every time the clock stops, she's like, so-and-so's here. So, yeah, that's about it.
That's weird.
But you could, like, in the middle of the night, you could hear a door shut. Everybody's asleep, and you can hear a door shut or something.
There?
Yeah, just noises or something. And my wife always gets up. What was that? What was that?
I hate that when people say it's an old house, it's settling.
Yeah.
No, old houses don't settle.
Yeah, we closed on
They've
this
been
house.
settled.
It's settled.
Yeah. This one is because
I believe that.
Yeah, no, this one is definitely settling constant. It's always evolving. Like our windows and
Mine is
doors
going down the hill.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
If you did
Every
time
so
lapse,
often we have to
you
have
would
the
see it
landlord
move.
come and fix the doors, like the front door, because it won't shut anymore.
Oh, well.
Like the threshold at the bottom is starting to push up.
That might not be settling. That could be rotting.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's an old house there. All those houses where you live are the old mill houses.
Yeah. Well, this one is the oldest. It's the first one, and because it's a duplex, and then there's an addition on the back. So we're actually a triplex, but the addition is one level, and it was originally built and added on as a bunkhouse. It was just beds. It was just a long, almost like what you'd be in the military, like a long room with a bunch of beds.
Sure.
That's what this was behind us, because it was all for the mill.
Yep. Yeah, that mill
Yep.
across the street from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that up here. A lot of mills with old
we
mill
had a
housing.
here. Yeah, we
A
had
lot of
mill
that up here, too. A lot of the paper mills. They
Yeah.
had all the old houses and stuff.
We had a water mill that people would like boat in and ferry in 100 years ago, train station, all that stuff. So we're in a house. This house is over 100 years old, and it's built on a hill. So like the front of the house, the first floor is ground level, but when you go to the backside, the basement is completely, you could walk into the basement from the backside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like that steep of a hill. So the house is just kind of like going down the hill after 100
Hey,
years. I
it
said
says we're going to end in 7 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
It does that sometimes. I guess like
Oh, okay. I just closed it out.
yeah, Instagram and certain platforms can only let you stream for 2 hours. I think it is before you shut down. So
Well, we've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Wow.
we just
2
crested.
hours. Isn't it
Yep.
something?
Well, no kidding. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah,
No.
it's great stuff.
No.
No, good stuff. Yeah.
No, oh, they're still talking. Him and Chris are going back and forth about
I can't see any of the comments until you put them up.
Really?
Yeah.
How come? I wonder why.
I wonder why. There was that, you know, when you hear something and it brings back a memory.
Oh yeah,
I
constant.
wonder why. There was a episode of Cops, and there was this crackhead that was standing on the corner, and it was a high-speed pursuit going by, and the car goes out of control and hits the guy, the crackhead, and he goes like flying through the air. You see him do like this summit. It's like, it's not funny, but it's hilarious, right? And he hits the ground and he slides a little bit, and he gets up, and they bring him into the ambulance, and he doesn't want to go in the ambulance. Like, they picked him up, and he keeps putting his foot up, and he goes, "I don't want to go in no ambulance." And he goes, "We're just gonna check you out." So he goes, they put him on the gurney, and the camera's got like right in his face, and his hat's on crooked, his eyes are bugging, his white lips and stuff, and he's like, they go, "Wow, you've got 2 pairs of pants on. Why do you have 2 pairs of pants on?" And he looks right at the camera and goes, "I wonder why I got 2 pairs of pants on." And it was just like when you said, "I wonder why." It's like, that's what,
You thought of that?
Like that. I wonder why. And they faded out on that as he was saying.
I wonder
It was
why.
so ridiculous. It looked
That
fake,
was
but
much must-watch TV growing up. Saturday nights at 8 on
Oh, God,
Fox
yeah.
or something, man. We all had
Oh,
to
yeah.
watch it.
It was funny. I worked with a guy, Shaggy was his nickname, and we were working on this construction crew.
Shaggy.
And yeah, and these guys were bottom of the barrel guys. There was one van, none of them had a license, and except for one, and like 6 of these guys
Was it
were
a mystery
pilots.
van?
No, it was definitely not a mystery
Sorry,
van. This
Shaggy.
Yeah, no. Like, way to go,
Like,
Scoob.
Mystery machine.
And he there's this guy that was in there, and we're watching Cops, and it was a Connecticut one, and we see this dude, and I guess he trashed the car on a road somewhere and he left, and he went to bed, and the cops traced him home by the license plate, and they wake him up by kicking him in his bed, and he looks at the camera, and it's the dude I work with, and I'm like, no way. So I go in the next day, and I'm sitting in the van, and I can't wait to see this guy. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be great. And he gets in the van, and I look at him and say, "Oh, seen you on TV last night." And he just looks at me, and he goes, "What?" And it was an older episode. I said, "Yeah, did you maybe crash a car and leave the scene and go into bed, and the cops woke you up and they said they were gonna blur my face out." He didn't even deny it. He just said,
He didn't deny it.
He didn't even deny it. It was
They said they
you
were going to
sign
blur my
it?
face
awesome.
out.
I finally met somebody on Cops.
Did you make anybody sign anything? No. Well, that's why they didn't blur it out.
You got duped.
You want to be on TV? Fine, I'll be on TV. Oh, damn it. Next day, it's like, what happened? Oh, but we got
That's
a video
best
for
ever.
you.
They were supposed to blur my face.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. They were supposed to blur my face out. He didn't deny it. Nothing. I was laughing my ass off. Oh, my God. I never thought in my life I would actually know somebody that I would recognize from Cops. Like, that's like the one thing you don't want to. Hey, I seen you on TV. You're like Oprah, or
Yeah.
seen you on the news walking in the background.
Yeah,
I seen you on
before.
Cops.
What
I
show?
seen you on Cops.
Man, they kicked you pretty hard, huh?
They kicked you pretty hard.
What was that, a Dodge Omni you crashed there?
We watched that stuff still. Not so much. She likes watching On Patrol Live. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No.
Mm-mm.
So that one's got 9 different.
Was that like on Pluto TV?
No, Hulu.
Like one of those channels nobody watches.
No. This is a really popular one, and it's they've got 9 different departments, and they go live every night on all these different departments.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that the one where they're in studio and they set up a scene?
Yeah,
and then
okay,
they go
I've
live?
seen that.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Sticks, Larkin.
Yeah.
There's a
Cop
couple
number
different
1, Cop
Yeah.
number 2.
Yep.
That's kind of how I remember it.
It's a good one, actually. It's really cool.
No, that was a good show.
The only thing that I notice on it a lot is they're always in Indian River County and Brevard County, which is where I lived in Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh, that's home.
There's the thing where if you type in on Google search Florida man and then your birthday, there's like a headline of some weird
Yeah.
Florida woman, like
Florida
jumps
man. Yeah.
bridge with Nissan Sentra or something. It'll be like these weird stories. But you put it in
Yep.
Florida,
the cannibal
man.
dude from Florida. I remember that one. He was eating people.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Only in Florida, man.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Where was that?
He was eating somebody's cheek or something. They
Yeah,
bite him in the
zombie
face.
man. Yeah, type Florida zombie man.
Yeah, Florida zombie man tries to eat person
Yeah.
in broad daylight.
Wow, I'll have to look that up.
Hannibal
I
Lecter's
remember-
long-lost son.
Florida's a weird country, man.
A weird
Yeah.
country.
That
It is
place
a country.
whack.
Yeah, it's big.
You got to take a boat to get there. That's the Cubans. Though. It's a long swim.
It's a long swim. Yeah,
Uh.
it's definitely nuts down there.
I've made it as far as in the Florida when we went cross country. A buddy of mine says, "Hey, I got to bring my brother back to college." I'm like, "Where is he going?" He goes, "St. Louis, Missouri." I'm like, "So you saying road trip?" He's like, "Yeah." So we hop in his little Buick and off we went. And we got down. We started cutting across the top of the Gulf, and we were going to come back up, and we saw Florida. I'm like, who wants to go to Florida? And we were there's nobody in the car was like, "Hey, let's go to Florida."
Nobody.
It's like, So we just got into the state line. We saw "Welcome to Florida." We were like, "Yay, we're in Florida," and then we left. We would rather have gone to Delaware.
Should have went and said hi to Mike. Oh, that was a long time ago. Mike wasn't there.
Yeah.
What do they play in the background at Wayne's World when they say "We're in Delaware"? What's the background in there?
Oh. Yeah, Delaware.
Like we're in Texas, rooting and tooting Broncos. And then they go, "We're in Delaware," and they're both like, "We're in Delaware."
What do you play there? Yeah.
The only mountain we have out here is Mount Rushmore. It's the landfill. It's like
Oh.
the flattest
The
land as could
landfill.
be.
We had Mount Trashmore in North Smithfield.
Yeah.
It was at one time it was the highest peak in Rhode Island,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Johnston landfill.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a methane flame burning for like 10 years.
Yeah.
The methane coming out of the
Yes.
ground. They just
Yes,
burn.
to
Why
keep it
wouldn't
from
they put a
exploding.
power plant on that or something? Wouldn't you?
I
Heat
know.
Right?
steam
I
and
thought
make,
the same thing.
it's such a waste.
Yep.
Why not do that?
It smells like a fart. You go it's like your whole neighborhood. You wake up in the morning, you're like, everybody's got poo face. You walk
That
around
was-
and you're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
That was the toughest part, man. Because I grew up in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. I moved out here to Delaware, and the chicken manure, man. Oh, it's horrible. Windows
Oh,
closed,
we've got a lot of
AC
that
on,
here.
Doesn't matter.
Chicken coops.
Yes, it's just it's the worst smell. It's like, why did I move?
I don't
here?
know where we were when we crossed country, but we found a Smithfield where they make the bacon.
Oh,
That
yeah?
was horrible. Oh
Really?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say pig farms
my God.
are worse than chicken.
Oh, it was so bad.
So
Like when you go
gross.
to a paper mill town and it just stinks, you can
paper mills,
live
yeah.
with it.
Yeah,
Boy,
because
this
of the
was like-
brine.
God, it was so bad.
Yeah,
It was beautiful too. It was
Mill.
like this beautiful waterfall. We're riding up like, "Oh wow, look how nice it is." We pull in like,
Oh.
"What the
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah, nice rocks."
You got a
We
paper
went-
mill in Delaware?
In Altoona, Pennsylvania, where my wife's family
Oh.
reunion was every year. There was a paper mill there, and it's the worst.
That's how it was up here when we first started coming up this way. They had all paper mills up here in Berlin and Groveton. And we used to drive through and it'd be like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." And also it's like stinks real bad. You're like, "What the hell?" And people up here, they're like, "We don't think it smells. That's money."
Yeah.
As long as they could smell that, they had a good mill in town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this place was 29,000 people, and in 5 years it was down to 9,000. They lost 20,000 people in 5 years
Wow.
when the mills closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost towns.
Yeah. It's starting to boom up now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the ATVs up here, it's a big deal up here with the ATVs inside.
But it's still like 1983 there.
There's a bowling alley, and a lot of people still hang out at it.
When
There's
we
not
went
really
up
much in
there
town.
to do a little filming, I took my daughter because she usually was with me on the weekends. We went up there and her friend came and I had them bring their bikes. He's like, "Tell them to bring their bikes. They can ride their bikes while they're here." And they literally left the house and rode all into town. They went all over the place and no problems, none whatsoever.
Remember when you were a kid, you could just leave the house and just go away.
They can do that.
Your
there
parents
still.
would think you're at your friend's house, but you're probably like 4 towns away riding a train or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could still do that here because everybody kind of watches out for everybody else. It's a small town.
Mm.
but
it's fun.
they're like right up above the notch, so weather can be an issue like in an instant.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He woke up in the morning and there's like 12 inches of snow on his truck, and it was like 40 degrees
There
the
was
night
more than
before.
that on my truck. I don't know if it blew there, but there was like 14 inches.
Yeah, there was a lot of snow. Yeah,
Like
and
we
it was
had no
all
idea that we were even getting a storm, and I was supposed to
none
be
of us.
packing up the truck and heading back to Connecticut. And we wake up and look outside, and like you can't even see nothing. It's
Yeah,
so
we
much
had to
snow.
shovel out to get out. We
And there was
couldn't.
nothing the night before.
Yeah, there was grass
Yeah, and I
for
was like,
14
"What?"
inches, and none of us knew it was going to snow. We were like, okay, we'll see you
Oh,
tomorrow. I
yeah.
wake up and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
where did that come from? I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
You figured that much snow in that short of time, you had to have heard something. You know?
but it all melted away in like 3 hours or so, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
got
like
warm. It got like 60 degrees and it
yeah,
was gone.
Jeez.
poof.
It was ridiculous.
It was so
You're
weird.
done shoveling and you're starting to shovel slush at the end.
Yeah, and then you're like, I could have not did this
Yeah, you spent 3 hours shoveling. And you look at the
for
neighbor who
nothing.
didn't do anything.
Yeah,
It's melted
Yeah,
away.
your neighbor
Like,
that
come
wakes up late
on!
goes, what happened? How come you're tired?
Come on!
I'm shoveling.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts, but it's neat. He keeps trying to talk me into moving up there. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Needs to. There's so much work for what you want to do.
I know.
There's
But
a
I
lot
can't.
of what's nice about up here in what you do is that there isn't anybody else doing that here.
No, I
and
know.
it's starting to come into fruition here. People are starting to use social media here for their businesses. They're starting to advertise in that form, and you are a creator that could come here and nobody else is doing it. They don't even have the know-how, and eventually there will be somebody.
We went up there,
Yeah,
and
you find a dry spot and it's good. Like that's the way it is here. I'm one of the few that can do it. I just don't have the time for it. But if I
Mhm.
wanted to, it's $1,000 a video, you know,
yeah,
Yep.
to make a 2-minute, social media commercials, $1,000.
we went to this butcher shop. What's it called? The Butcher's Daughter.
The butcher's daughter, yeah.
And he had already like pre went and talked to them and stuff, and then we went and we all met. And while he was talking to them, I was like, I'm just gonna go around real quick with my cell phone and take a couple of clips, and we'll throw something together. And we went back to the house. The guy didn't even really know what I was doing. He didn't realize I was filming. And we went back to Gino's house. I put it all together, in about 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we sent it to him, and he's like, "You filmed that while you were here?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "This is great." Like, 'cause
Yeah,
they
his
had-
wife didn't want him to film because their cupboards, like they have a butcher shop and they'll make like homemade sandwiches and they've got
so they have
salads.
cold cases with like meats and stuff.
Right, and they had empty spots. And she was afraid that if he filmed that, it was going to look like they didn't have any food available. So he was like, I'm just going to film it. It'll look cool the way I film it. And they're like, no, we don't really want you to do that. And she was kind of like adamant. She was almost getting a borderline angry
Yeah.
that he was filming. And then when we showed them the finished product, just saying, this is the style of what we're going to do. So get your store ready. But this is the filming that we'll be doing. These are the way that he'll be. And they're looking at it going, oh my God, like this looks so good. Like we don't have to do anything. He didn't even get the empty spots. It looks perfect. Like their shelves looked like they were full, and they weren't. They were it was at the end of a day.
But I only caught stuff that looked full.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
it was awesome. And then he put this music behind it, and the way it was edited, and what
Yep.
it said at the bottom of the screen. And these people were just
Yep.
blown away. And to me, the money is great. The stability of not having to work is awesome. But that response that you get when you create something like that and you give that to somebody and they look at it and they're like blown away, or they get emotional if it's
Now you know why I
something
like doing it.
sentimental. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I dig doing it when I used to do it with the off camera a bit, and
Mhm.
the response to me is sometimes way better than the pay. I know the pay is necessary, but that extra added bit that they give just makes it so
The
much
feeling you get watching somebody's eyes light up.
better. That you gave effort and somebody
yeah.
enjoyed it. They actually appreciated it to the point where they were like,
Yeah.
wow, and they were blown. To me, that's
Yeah.
more than half the reason why I'd like to do stuff like that. Creativity or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Well, it's gonna happen now. I'll be up
yeah,
there a
well,
little
you
more.
being in the situation that you're in now for
Yeah.
employment, you are in a golden spot.
Yeah.
I I won't say envy you, but I really
No, 'cause
almost
I'm nervous.
Excited
borderline
for
do.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
excited.
very
for you.
happy. I'm living vicariously through you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
nervous. So
Yeah, well, you
Just
should be in a way,
remember
but
us.
it's a big deal.
you what,
but-
Mike?
Just remember us when you hit it big.
Yeah.
Man. Just remember
Okay,
us.
yeah, that's not gonna
Take
happen.
us with
Hi,
you.
my name's Clay Allen. I'd like to thank all the people I stepped on to get to where I am
All
today.
the people
Some
that
of them are
Yeah.
still on the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah.
Some people call them friends. I like to call it a walkway. I wouldn't, without the backs of all my friends, I wouldn't be here.
Some people call them friends. I like to call it a walkway.
Yeah, yeah.
Involuntary sacrifices.
They paved my way to my success.
Yeah. All the involuntary sacrifices they
Yeah.
made for me to get here.
We did away with the ritual and just kept the sacrifice.
Oh God,
God,
that's
so
funny.
hilarious.
Oh,
Well, anywho,
Is anybody
Yeah.
tired yet? You guys ready to
I'm-
go?
I'm there. I'm tapping out.
yeah,
Man.
I think so.
All right. Well,
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go get some ice cream myself, man.
we've gone past 2 hours. So
The sugar buzz has crashed. You know,
Yeah.
we're crashing for the sugar buzz.
Yeah,
I
there's
gotta
no
go
coffee now. It's
some nachos, maybe.
I even ooh
Taco Bell run.
Yeah.
No, I have queso and chips downstairs.
queso. There's that word again. Uppity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
what
you
it
know your
is.
nose
It's
will be
queso.
turned up.
I just call it cheese. Not
Or
your
you could
cheese.
Call
We
it
could church it up and
salsa-
call it like French and call it chizé.
salsa con
Chizé,
queso.
yeah.
I can't
I got
believe neither
my-
of you have heard of queso.
I got my exotic chizé from Target.
Yeah, Target. I got my chizé from Target. Yay!
Chizé. Yay.
Hooray!
My name's Clay.
Yeah. Look, Clay got a chizé from Target. Yay!
That's too much. That's too much. A.
Yay! Sound like Canadian.
Yeah, we're Canadian now.
Like a gay Canadian.
Yeah.
Hey.
Uh,
All right.
we got to do this again.
On that
man.
note, I'm going to go ahead and end
This
it
is the
and say
highlight of
goodnight to
my
everybody. And thank you for joining.
a good
Thank
night,
you for your
guys.
comments.
Yeah.
Steve-O, yes, it was fun. It was
Steve-O.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got to do this again, man. This is a highlight of my month. I said it
this
earlier.
was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it
All right.
stayed on for pretty much the whole show.
Oh, yeah. Usually
I
it
only
falls
lost
off
it
once in a
twice.
while.
Usually that thing falls off, bounces around like a football.
Yeah.
Was it Harry? Harry takes it with him.
Yeah,
for a little
Harold.
bit. He's
Yeah.
like slowly.
Took me a little
coming
while
in.
to find. Son of a bitch put it on top of the fan. Took me to spring to find
On
it. When I
top of
put
the
fan on.
fan.
It's either a big bug or I know what it is. Turned it out to be good.
Thanks, Joe. Know your Joe for tuning in and commenting and watching. We appreciate it. This stuff is nothing without you guys
Yeah,
commenting and watching. So we greatly appreciate that.
absolutely.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Good night. We're gonna go.
Good night, everybody.
Till next time.
Bye.
So what do we got? 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
we'll be on the level.
Yep.
So another month from now, we'll go live on this, unless I decide to just get a hair across my booty and go live for something. I like having you guys. I like having somebody to bounce off of, but
Yep.
we'll see.
Yeah.
It's all right.
We'll talk, man.
Good night, everyone.
Peace be with you.
Good night. Enjoy your chizé.
Shizay from Tajay.
Shizay.
Chizé from Target.